If you think Cloak and Dagger is an easy ass character, you're not playing the character even close to their ceiling. Squirrel Girl has a higher skill ceiling than Black Panther. Luna player is not learning Jeff in a fucking day and not feed it, or they're gonna feed their fucking brains out. All right, this is your opinion. No, this is just fact. Why is Jeff an S tier? This character is hard to master. He has an extremely high skill ceiling. Phoenix placement seems personal. Yeah, this character. I'm putting her in D tier. What's up, guys? In this video, we're going to be doing a skill ceiling tier list, talking about the most difficult characters to master in the entire game. And there's some of them that you might not expect. So let's sit down, break it all down, smash the like, subscribe, and jump right in. S is going to be like the most difficult characters in the game to master by far. Their skill ceiling is the highest in the game. And then F is going to be absolute easiest, brain dead, get a ton of value at their skill ceiling. And I want to make it clear here, this is the ceiling of the character. It's not about minimum amount of value you can get on a character. It's not about how do you play a character and you play them okay, right? And you play them all right. It's about playing a character to its maximum potential or close to its maximum potential. That's their skill ceiling. How much value can you get based on like how much skill expression is there at the top of the character's skill, and you know what type of value can you generate from that, right? We're gonna talk about all the characters. So F equals thing tier. Okay, can you specify how much you're rating AIM? We'll talk about that as we get to AIM character. AIM is gonna be a little tricky because technically AIM has an infinite skill ceiling, but we're not gonna rate AIM all that highly. It's reasonable, like AIM does matter. We're not putting only the aimers at the highest tier because there are characters that require both AIM, mechanics, like other mechanics, like non-AIM mechanics. They also require game sense and perfect timing of abilities. So there's a lot of things that we can kind of base it on. So yeah, I think let's start thresholds here. I think it's important to put a top and a bottom before we fill out the rest of the list. At the bottom, I'm putting the thing. Okay, this is the character I got my absolute peak on. This is the character that I climbed all the way to my peak back in like 1.5 or whatever, soon after the thing came out. This character is difficult only in the ways that every tank is difficult. He's only difficult in the ways that just like the push and pull of the game. When we have an advantage, we walk forward. When we have a disadvantage, we walk back. A lot of his abilities do things just by the press of one button. He's extremely easy mechanically. He's very forgiving as far as his duties of a tank, being able to walk forward and walk back. He has a very, very low skill ceiling. He gets a lot of value at his floor. Now, that doesn't mean he has like zero skill ceiling. Like he does have some amount of skill expression. It's just like you could competently get too close to the skill ceiling of the thing with like 5 hours of playtime. Nah, maybe like 2 if we're being real. Hello, YouTube. Captain Coach was on Epstein Island. All right, bro. Come on, bro. By the way, start the petition. Delete Invis. Wait, now I'm getting botted? Hello? You're ruining my YouTube video, bro. You're ruining my fucking YouTube video. Do I have to turn on? Do I have a mod in here? Do I have a single mod? Oh, yeah, Jaw. Wait, do I have a single YouTube mod? Where the fuck is Malice? Just a second. I gotta get this shit. Bots. YouTube mods. Why are these bots out to get Captain Coach? Someone has way too much. When you build haters like Captain Coach, they got money for that shit, I guess. I don't know. I generally don't understand how Captain Coach is hated so much that people do that shit. I don't know. Okay, anyways. Now, we put the floor on Thing. I think Thing has the lowest skill ceiling in the game. Now, I don't necessarily think he might end up being there as we walk through this list, but I'm going to put Spider-Man as the other end of this spectrum. A character that requires aim, requires proper engagements, requires very high-level mechanics, specific combos, proper timing. I mean, you can't even really do anything on this character. Like, he has an extremely high skill floor and at a very high skill ceiling, because you can't really do anything on the character with his like base kit. It's very hard if you don't know combos, if you don't know the many things that you have to learn on this character. So I'm putting him at S tier. This is like kind of our threshold. I gotta go rewind. Is this about skill or power? It's a skill ceiling tier list. Now we are gonna go and fill out the rest of the list. Is Mills glazing Spider-Man fucking wild? I mean, I've always said that Spider-Man is like a high skill ceiling character. One of the highest. Definitely a lot of skill expression. Both mechanically, I think a lot of Spider-Man, like even the best Spider-Man have further that they can even go from here. Mills can't even get out of plat. Okay, bro. Okay, Next is Adam. Okay, so Adam is, there's a couple things to think about Adam. You need cooldown management, like proper cooldown management. You also need really good positioning. So like the combination of managing your cooldowns, knowing exactly when to use your cooldowns, positioning really well, and then you also need really good aim. You need like to reach the ceiling on this character. And aim enables the rest of his kit. It's not like aim is kind of like an afterthought. It's like if you hit dinks, you're reducing, if you hit any of your primary or your alternate, you're reducing the cooldowns of your other abilities. He's a very difficult character. I think he's a very difficult character to master, to get close to that skill ceiling. Now, you're not doing anything super fast, so I'm not going to put him in the tippy top highest tier, but I think I put him right below that. I'm putting Adam in the A tier as far as skill ceiling. This is where I put him. Shame we don't get that high ceiling gameplay on this channel. Why did I do this? All right. Now, this is where things get kind of spicy. This is where people could kind of lose the plot a little bit and disagree with me. I think Cloak and Dagger have a really high skill ceiling. We talked about this a little bit earlier in the stream, but the character requires, there's a lot that you could express. Now, the thing that people get tricked up, like if we compare Cloak and Dagger to like Adam and like Spider-Man, is that Cloak and Dagger gets a lot of value from the floor of the character. Like you could be, you could pick up Cloak and Dagger and you're going to get a lot more value within the first 5, 10, 20 hours than you are out of Adam, out of Spider-Man. You don't need aim. Like there's a lot of things. But I think Cloak and Dagger is actually high. Skill ceiling wise. And here's the reason why. Their proper use of the bubble. Not using it when you need it, but using it only when you absolutely need it. And managing that ability. The difference between having it and not can be someone dying and someone not. Knowing what to save Cloak for, when to use it, what's the cost of using Cloak, how aggressive can you position, because you have Cloak versus if I play aggressively and my Cloak gets baited out, my team will die. Knowing what can kill you out of ult, how to play around those things, whether it's a Bucky pull, Spider-Man pull, whether it's a Magneto ult, how do we play around those things, knowing when those things are up, knowing when you can ult aggressively. Like a Cloak and Dagger ult is extremely good proactively, but not if they have a Luna ult or something to sustain them, right? So like tracking ultimates is I think a big part of Cloak and Dagger. Last thing is coordinating blinds. I think that's a big thing. Knowing when to blind, having blinds to coordinate, knowing, hey, my Thor almost has ult, I can blind and coordinate that, or whatever character. We could push through this ult, blinding invis and killer and ult. Like there's a lot of things you can do. That's the ceiling of the character. I think it's going to be hard for a lot of people to understand my placement here because they don't see the full potential of the character. And I'm not saying, like, you have a lot of celestial Cloak and Daggers that I don't even think are that close to the skill ceiling of this character. So I'm putting Cloak and Dagger in A. I'm putting Cloak and Dagger in A. Which streamer would mod his mods in both chats? I would definitely do that, but not you. Dear Jesus. See, this is what I'm talking about. We lost the plot here. We lost the plot. We already running into the first point of contention. Okay. This shit is not hard. You're not playing the character at their ceiling. I'm sorry. If you think Cloak and Dagger is an easy-ass character, you're not playing the character even close to their ceiling. Not even remotely close. Not even close to close. I get that placement. I'd probably put them mid, but your reasoning makes sense. We're not talking about their floor. We're not talking about a competent Cloak and Dagger. We're talking about the ceiling of this character. The ceiling. And here's the thing, chat. Every single one of you, doesn't matter what rank you're in. You could be in fucking Eternity. You could be in Celestial. You could be in Grandmaster. You could be whatever, right? You see the amount of mistakes Cloak and Daggers make. It's possible to not make those mistakes. That's skill expression. There are levels to how good you could be at this character. There's levels to being able to carry on this character. Most people don't access it. If Iron Fist ends up being lower than C&D, I might bald. We're not getting there yet, but I play Cloak and Dagger perfectly, and I'm hard stuck gold, coach. So yeah. Coach not seeing the Dear Jesus was a reply to me. Okay, I got you. Because they are boosted, coach. Okay. The character definitely has a very, very, very high ceiling. If anyone's allowed to debate me on these, I'll answer any question, but I'm telling you, Cloak and Dagger has a very, very high ceiling, much higher. I think people just they're kind of off the mark because they think about the mid value or the floor or the average value. It's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the ceiling of the character. Yeah, but neutral doesn't really matter and everyone knows how to ult. That's where once again, we're talking about the ceiling of the fucking character. Do you think AFKing and pressing Q is the ceiling? Like, is that the ceiling? Is that the ceiling on your fucking character? Do you have to do nothing on a support and then press Q and you'll be in top 500? Is that all you have to do? Oh, I'm gonna do nothing the entire neutral and I'm just gonna press Q when I got ult. Boom, I'm top 500. Is that it? Is that what we actually think? Or are we trolling here? On C&D, yes. Then what is your rank? Do it, prove it. Go do it right now. People think that shit, but they've never done it before. It's crazy. I don't even play Cloak and Dagger, and I understand this. People look down on her only because she has no aim. Like, yeah, she has no aim. She has a lot of abilities that fucking matter when you use them and how you use them. She has an ultimate that if you fuck up in high elo, you're dying 100% of the time. I'm hard stuck one above all, and I think Cloak and Dagger is okay. I think she has a high ceiling. My Cloak and Daggers always blow. I mean, your Cloak and Daggers always blowing is, it actually sides with me more than it sides with you. Like, the fact that they suck means that there is room to grow. There's room to not suck. Well, I would be Celestial if I played support, but I'm a Diamond Spidey OTB. No, you would fucking not. She has 2 characters in 1. But why would you say CNT is higher than Invis? We'll get there. We'll get there. Blowing, pause, suck, question mark. What is that wording? As someone smurfing and one above all can confirm. Okay. All right, we'll come back to the Cloak and Dagger nonsense in a second, because I know we're going to. I'm going to just keep fighting with chat about it. Why did you shave the hair on your... All right. What's the tier? This is skill ceiling tier list, okay? Skill ceiling tier list. All right. Support pool. Okay, this one's kind of hard. To be honest with you, support pool is a little bit tricky to put in. All the pools are a little bit difficult to place. A little bit difficult to place. I mean, I think all the dead pools have a reasonably high skill ceiling. I'm not entirely sure how to place them, to be honest. Yeah, this is a support pool. I'm not gonna lie, chat, we're gonna save all the pools for the end. I don't really know where to place them right now. I'm gonna save them later. Logan pool? Like, people severely understand, like, here's the thing, okay? If we talk about Cloak and Dagger, and someone says, I would be higher rank if I played Cloak and Dagger, you might be right. You might be right. Now, will you be Celestial? Will you be top 500? Will you be pro level? No, you won't. Because you got to do a lot of things really well in order to get past where people just like mostly just like all the Cloak and Daggers that just don't really do anything and they're not even close to the skill ceiling. Like they know the kit of the character, but they don't know more than that. They're not even close to what we're talking about here. We're talking about the ceiling of the character. The ceiling of the character. Go watch a pro play Cloak and Dagger. Go watch a streamer called like Kaji play Cloak and Dagger. Like, these are players that are far closer to the skill ceiling of the character. I still don't necessarily think that they're there, but they're closer, right? Coach, try not to go 50-50 challenge if possible. I'm straight jerking my shit to you, Mills. Say less. All right, Gambit. Where do y'all think I'm going to put Gambit? Where do y'all think I'm going to put Gambit? Dude, I used to be GM playing support, and I know a lot more about the game now. I would be if I didn't nerf myself on Spidey. I mean, this might be true or might not be true, but, like, if you can climb on a character, wait, F, A, C, not low, not gonna lie, B, B, A. We're talking about the skill ceiling of the character, chat. Where do y'all think I'm gonna put Gambit? I'm straight, bro. What am I reading? Wherever you think will get the most clicks. Oh, true. Let me just rage bait y'all real quick. I'm not rage baiting about Cloak and Dagger. I actually believe this shit. I'm not rage baiting. Like, I'm not rage baiting. I wish I was. I wish I was rage baiting. I wish I was. It'd be way easier if I actually was. I think you're putting no. I'm putting Gambit in S tier, bro. What are y'all talking about? Y'all think I'm not putting Gambit in S tier? Hello? What? Don't you question mark me? What the fuck? Skill ceiling of the character. Skill ceiling. Carried by his meta power. Gambit has too much in his kit to be low. You can do everything in the game. I mean, we see the skill ceiling of him with Sci-Fi. He's rank 1 every season. Yeah. Sci-Fi, yeah. It's S. It's not even close. I can even see the argument that Gambit's above Spidey. I'm not going to give him that because he has more time to make his decisions, unlike Spidey has to make his decisions very, very quickly. Like, the time you have to make your decisions matters. The more time you have to make a decision, the less skillful that decision is. Like, a decision on a 5-second timer is a lot more difficult than making the right decision on like a 20-second timer or whatever. Gambit's still S tier. You got to think about the character requires mechanics, requires proper timing, requires conservation of your cooldowns, requires your ability to bounce all the cooldowns and hit the cooldowns. He can do a ton if you know his limits. The character is undoubtedly one of the most difficult characters to reach his skill ceiling. And once again, we're running into a different problem where I think a lot of you are conflating this character gets a ton of value, or maybe this character gets a ton of value with his ult, therefore he has a low skill ceiling. We're not talking about, that's not the ceiling of the character. That's just like, if you just play the character anti-randomly and fucking ult your team, you're gonna get a lot of value. That does not mean you're close to the skill ceiling on the character. That does not mean that. That does not mean you're close to the skill ceiling. Like, just because you can win by being a fucking bot on the character does not mean his skill ceiling is low. That's not what it means. C and D should be like C tier? Nah, you're trolling. You're trolling. Using his cleanse makes him A max. He's high, but no, not like Spidey. Well, I think Spidey is like the highest right now. But yeah. Okay. All right. Now, this one's a little bit tricky. Invis, I think... I'm gonna piss some people off, bro. I think Invis has a high skill ceiling. This is a skill ceiling tier list. I think Invis has a high skill ceiling. C&D averages out to F tier. No. So here's my hot take. I think that C&D has a higher skill ceiling than Invis. I said it. I think but I think they both have high skill ceilings. I think they're both high. I just think C&D is higher. Both high though. Both high. She does, but like delete Invis. Fuck that character. She has a lot of room for mistakes. 100%. 100%. Yeah, C&D has a lot higher skill ceiling than Wanda. Plus, it's like reactive. Like, you have to play around a lot of things on C&D compared to Wanda. Yeah. That's all I gotta say. Oh, yeah. I'm straight. C&D, B, and most. No. What is this? A skill ceiling tier list. All right. We're putting Invis. I reserve the right to change this placement. I'm putting Invis right here. I reserve the right to change. I would honestly put her probably B. But she might be A. I need to see the rest of the list. Both B tier max, no. I don't think that Cloak and Dagger is that, like, it depends on how much you rate aim skill. But as far as like all the stuff that make Cloak and Dagger, or all the stuff that make Adam difficult to play, the positioning, the cooldown management, it's the same thing for Cloak and Dagger. The difference is that Adam requires aim and Cloak and Dagger does not. But I think Cloak and Dagger has a lot more cooldown management that they have to do compared to Adam, like way more cooldown management. The double blinds compared to the double light walls, like you have to decide which one. You also have a fade, you also have a bubble. Like there's a lot more that you have to decide between than Adam. Like soul bond and using your packs are important, but you can't deny that using his cooldowns or managing his cooldowns is a lot easier than perfectly managing Cloak and Dagger cooldowns. Now, it depends on where you place aim. Like, I think that aim creates a big enough gap, but it's a slight gap. But if it wasn't for the aim difficulty on Adam, I think Cloak and Dagger would be higher skill. I think all the auto aim characters should be reworked to have aim. See, people say that shit, and then people say they want to nerf Hela, they want to nerf Jean, they don't want, like, hyper poke to be meta. Like, not every character needs to be a fucking aim lab simulator, to be honest with you. Invis higher than Warlock and CD? I do not think so. Okay, anyways, let's keep going. I'm actually gonna keep her in B tier right now. I might move her up, but I'm gonna keep her. Okay. Chat. Are y'all gonna freak out about this? Can y'all remain calm for a second? Can y'all stop jerking your shit for a second, according to some of these comments? I need y'all to calm down, because I'm about to fucking piss y'all off even more, okay? I'm about to piss y'all off even more. I'm about to piss y'all off so much. This is Jeff's placement, okay? This is Jeff's placement on the list. And I'm not capping. I'm not capping. No, I'm not capping. I don't think I'm capping, but I'm not capping. Here we go. Oh, God. Bro, 100%. Thank you. Yes. You made the right choice when you put C&D above Invisible Woman. You made your bet. I agree with you that C&D is higher, but I think she should be in the same. I can see that. I can see that justification. I can see that here. I might put them in the same tier later. We'll hold there. Jeff is one of the most... He has one of the highest skill ceilings in the entire game. Once again, we're talking about ceiling here. Perfect play. Speed boosting characters that need to be speed boosted. Perfect bubble management. Perfectly pushing your limits. Understanding how to use your ult, when to use your ult, when to get away with ult, who you can ult. Tracking cooldowns. I mean, here's the thing, chat. Y'all know this to be true, and here's the reason why. Y'all, every single one of you has had the Jeff that is literally Thanos. They end the fucking game like 24-0. They don't die, they never get contested, and they carry the absolute shit out of you. And everyone else has had the Jeff that's gone 1 in fucking 9 or some shit. The character, yes, has a pretty low skill ceiling. You get some value just fucking around on the character. But to reach this character's ceiling, position, aggressive, cooldown management, knowing your limits, ult timing, there's so much on this character. There's so much on this character. We see it in pro play. This character has a crazy high skill ceiling. Crazy high skill ceiling. I love Rogue and Hulk because I always feel like I'll be able to learn more on them because their ceiling feels almost endless. The Teos 2. You're either great or horrible with Jeff. There's no in between. And the thing is, there's even greater to go. Like, there's even higher peaks. There's a reason why we see so many Jeff 1 tricks consistently in the top 500. It's because this character has crazy skill expression. He has crazy skill expression. Insane. Loki got a BS. Just seeing how many Jeffs fuck up the ult puts him at B minimum. I can see that place how to think about it. There are levels to it, man. Like, there are levels to this shit. The flank Jeff playstyle is insane. I mean, like, and the thing is, great Jeffs, peak Jeffs in rank, know when they should flank, when they shouldn't flank. When does flanking give them more value than playing a certain other way? Like, there's just a lot. They know a lot about, like, how can they get away with an ult? In what times are they gonna die with an ult? There's just a lot. So anyways, let's move on to Loki. This character's in D tier. All right, hear me out. No, I'm fucking with y'all. I'm fucking with y'all. This character is definitely S. Okay. I could justify putting this character higher. I'm gonna put this character right here. I'll put this character right here. I think Loki is one of the hardest characters in the game to master. He has a very high skill ceiling. Rage baiting. I'm sorry, bro. Y'all be thinking I'm rage baiting with these placements, like these placements, the Cloak and Dagger and the Jeff. You can position so many different places. I mean, basically anywhere. Conservation of your clones, properly timing your totems. I mean, like, think about the potential of this character. Your Cloak and Dagger, they're on their fourth swipe. You see the Magneto ult coming down. You fucking pop a clone. Pop your totems, protect your Cloak and Dagger from the ult. Like, properly timing your totems, knowing when to copy what, making sure that you're copying correctly. Just the fact that you need to know how to copy, like you to play this character at its maximum efficiency, you probably need to know how to play every character in the game, to be honest. Like 99% of the time, you're just gonna be fucking copying some random like support, but there is that 1% that you're copying a Cap, or you're copying a Spidey, or you're copying a Magneto or whatever, because no one else is alive, right? There are times that that's actually the case. I think Loki is definitely S tier. I think you could make the argument to me that Loki's higher than Spidey. The only reason I'd put Spidey higher is I think that Spidey requires, it's just a very small window of time where you can make decisions. Like, not only do you have to have good mechanical execution, but you have to make the right decision within like a tiny window of time. I'm noticing a pattern here, coach. A lot of these supports have super high skill ceiling, but yet my teammates in ranked always troll. See, that's the thing, is like a lot of these supports have really low skill floors, meaning that they get a ton of value even at the skill floor of the character. You can just play Adam's not the case. If this was a skill floor list, the list would look very different. Like, Adam would be really high in a skill floor list, or if we're doing a reverse. So I guess he'd be really low, but yeah. Like, just because you can heal bot on these characters and get a lot of value, and just because you can, like, just play these characters and get a lot of value, that doesn't mean that there isn't further to go with the character's ceiling. Disjoined is Jeff S. Yes. What's up, Filipino Beast? That's my goat right there. Is that Jared McCain or what? All right, we're gonna go Luna. So here's a weird one, chat. I think Luna, how you place Luna has to do with just aim, because it's literally just pure aim. Because obviously she doesn't require a lot of mechanics to play, or not of mechanics, cooldown management. A lot of cooldown management. It's literally just your primary. It's just your snowball. It's just mechanics. So if we talk about just mechanics, I don't really think she could be all that high. And I think to get to the skill ceiling on this character, I don't know if I put her in B or C. How is the thing F tier? I've been playing out of my mind with him. See, that's the whole problem. You don't need your mind and you're fucking playing him, you know? I don't know. I'm a Luna run trick. She is C. She was easy to sit C2 with. I want to make it clear that I'm not talking about difficulty to get a rank, right? It's important to separate skill ceiling from how good a character is in the meta. Just because a character is legit busted in the meta does not make them have a lower or higher skill ceiling. It doesn't affect it at all. You know, like as an example, last season, let's just say last season where Daredevil was super broken, or maybe on release when Daredevil was super broken, just because Daredevil is busted as hell and you could climb with him doesn't mean that he had a low skill ceiling. Just because he's busted as hell. Just because you could climb, not even close to his skill ceiling, doesn't mean he didn't have a high one, right? But I do agree with you. I don't think Luna is that high. I think, man, I actually want to put Luna in C, chat. Is that fucked? Like, the only thing that we're really evaluating here is aim skill. Like, that's mainly what we're evaluating here. And positioning to an extent. Aim is a crazy skill, though. Yeah, I mean, aim technically has an infinite skill ceiling, but are we going to put, like, Hela at the top of S tier? I don't really think so. Because there's more to this game than just aiming. There's a lot more to this game than just aiming. There's a lot more that you're being tested on than just all aim and positioning. Doesn't Luna need high aim skill? I think so. I mean, yes. Like, once again, yeah, we're kind of running into the aim skill problem. She has 100% less decisions to make than other supports on the list. Yeah, I would agree. It kind of makes me want to put Invis here and then put her here. Let's keep it like this for now. Okay, this is a hard one, chat. What about Mantis? Because I think Mantis is quite a bit harder than Luna, even though Mantis does require aim skill. Something about the aggressive nature of the character makes me feel like there's higher ceilings on her. Mantis is higher than Luna. I don't know if I would put her in A, though, because there's not a lot of cooldown management. I guess there is. You have to balance your damage boost on a lot of characters. Low B, A. I think Mantis is easier than Invis. I'll say that. But I think that she's higher than Luna by a lot. Depends on how highly you place aim skill. Once again, we kind of run into this aim skill problem. How high do we place aim skill? How high is aim skill? I don't know. It's funny, although people get mad at you for putting Jeff in S tier with Gambit, I actually don't think that they're that far off of each other. True. A lot of Jeffs fuck up, yeah. You have to hit headshots on Mantis. Resource management. There is some resource management. Mantis has high APM. The problem that comes from Mantis is sometimes you're not really properly managing your cooldowns. You're just even towards the ceiling of the character, you're just having constant uptime. You're playing an aggressive position, you're dinking, you're applying double damage boost to your two primary threats, and then you're just dinking, building it up more, applying damage boost to your threats. You're not really like perfectly managing this ability because that's actually not the most optimal thing to do. That's the only thing. Which Mantis still had movement. I want Mantis to work in Animal Crossing. It's spinning plates. ADHD sim. There should be a rocket tier. We'll get okay. If you're pro aim, the aim heroes are the best. We're gonna leave it like this. I feel like this might be rage bait. We'll think about it. I could just do this, but I feel like that's not accurate. We're gonna leave it like that. Okay, aim skill has to be rated high because it's a combination of mechanics. Yeah, I mean, I think just pure aim alone is gonna get you into the C tier, but like I don't think necessarily it gets you crazy high past that, unless it's more difficult aim. I also think the shots that you have to hit matter. Like the shots that you have to hit on Hela as her skill ceiling is not the same as the shots you hit on Luna. We gotta talk about like reasonable skill ceiling. It's not like there's gonna be a Luna that has fucking aimbot. Like we're never gonna see like when we think of like the skill ceiling of Luna, it is not running around and killing people on Luna. Like that's not the skill ceiling of the character. Skill ceiling of Hela is running around and two-tapping people, yeah. Skill ceiling of Luna is not running around and two-tapping, like that's not what we're talking about. There are combos in the game that are just harder than just headshots. It can be too hard though because you still lose with aimbot. We've all seen people that lose with it. This is a skill ceiling tier list. DPS Luna go burr. Okay, chat. I'm putting Rocket in F. Okay, you know, I'm putting Rocket in F. Okay, this might be a hot take because this is still a skill ceiling list. So movement matters, placement of your res beacon matters, ult placement matters, like all those things matter, but there are more things that matter on other characters, in my opinion. You could maybe make the argument he's D. Blank Rocket is definitely not F. Okay. I wish movement rockets were more rewarded. Yeah, that's another thing is you don't get crazy rewarded for expressing any amount of skill on the movement of the character. You're like pretty low. Behind the thing, no, I think Rocket has a higher skill ceiling than the thing. The thing has like a very low skill ceiling. Where Amazing plays Rocket because it's a healer who requires no skill. The most skill expression I've seen is where he does the floating thing above the death floor. yeah, I've seen that. C. Don't let Coach C rocket in F tier. I mean, I could see an argument for D. I'm not gonna put him there, but I could see the argument for it. I could see the argument for it. Okay, all right. We'll go back to Rocket in a second, but where do y'all put Ultron? Thing is, movement with his punch. I mean, yeah, very simple, but yeah. Ultron is hard. Justice for Rocket? There's no justice for Rocket, bro. How do y'all feel about Ultron? Because Ultron is a tricky one. You could be aggressive. There is timing of your E. There's also aim skill. I think the character is actually pretty high. I would probably put the difficulty of Ultron very close to the difficulty of Mantis. I don't think these characters are that different from one another as far as what is required from you at their ceilings. Ultron and Mantis. I mean, is there anyone that would argue that they're that different from one another as far as aim ceiling? Aiming on Ultron isn't hard though. We're talking about the ceiling of the character. Ceiling. So unless you're fucking aimbotting people, we can't talk about easy or hard. Aiming is still aiming, right? Aiming's still aiming. You have to control much more cooldowns and aim better with Mantis. I don't agree that that's true. I mean, I guess no crits, right? Aiming on Mantis is a lot harder than aiming on Ultron. I mean, you're once again, we're comparing the character to the character. So it's about being the when we talk about the ceiling of a character, we're talking about like, you can't just say this character. Like if Ultron has easier healing or easier to hit shots, then you're expected to hit more of them to be at the same skill level of a Mantis, right? That means that towards the ceiling, you're still expected to hit even higher percentages of shots than a Mantis close to the ceiling, correct? You understand? We're not, like, that's why aim is both infinite, but also equal in all places. Sometimes you can't attack boost as Mantis. Ultron positioning and knowing how to use your right click has a high ceiling. Luna's win rate proves she should be higher. I don't really think that proves anything. Okay, BP, chat. This is gonna piss some people off. Once again, we're gonna piss some people off. What do y'all put BP? What do y'all put BP? Ultron can two-shot people. Literally irrelevant. Power level is completely irrelevant to the skill ceiling of a character. I'll say that. I'll say that a million times. It doesn't matter the power level of a character. It doesn't matter if they're weak or strong in the meta. It doesn't matter if they're weak or strong in balance. That has nothing to do with the skill ceiling of the character. Y'all are tripping. If y'all think I'm gonna put this guy in S, you're tripping. You are tripping. This character is a bot. I'm not gonna lie. This character is a bot. I'm putting this character in fucking B tier. No gap. No gap. When you're off cooldown on BP, you're dead. Once again, how many times do I have to fucking say this? Power level of the character does not fucking matter. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. That doesn't change skill ceiling. It does not change skill ceiling at all. It doesn't. It doesn't change skill ceiling. Like when y'all are talking about power level, it's like let's say there's a fucking, all right, let's say that there's like a 50cc racing dirt bike. I don't know if y'all know like bike terms, but 50cc racing dirt bike, and you have to race it on a motocross track where you're like doing flips and shit, or like you're like aggressively racing or whatever. Just because that car, that 50cc bike is slower than my fucking Honda Civic does not mean that it's easier to drive than the fucking Honda Civic. Just because the Honda Civic would beat it in a race because it's a faster fucking car does not mean it's easier. All right, do we understand? Speed, power, none of that shit matters when we're talking about skill ceiling. All right, anyways, back to the plot. BP, B. And the reason that BP is B, because here's the thing about BP. Dashes, like, so dashes are fairly forgiving as far as like, we're not talking about no regs here. We're talking about just like hitting a dash. You don't have to be precise. It's not like a dink with Hela as far as aim is concerned, or a tracer with Spider-Man, right? It's like your body is running into their body. Your spears are very forgiving. So you have both of the things that are forgiving on the character. The difficulty with Black Panther comes down to 1, timing, and 2, making decisions in a very small window. It's not mechanically difficult to make, like, to execute. It's just mechanically difficult to make, like, a decision within, like, 1 second. And that's where his difficulty comes from, is the tiny window you have to make a decision. Cooldown isn't power. If you miss or get blocked, you're dead. Yeah, okay. How does BP have a higher skill ceiling than Luna? It's just, the reason I would give BP a higher skill ceiling than Luna is because to make the perfect decision in a very, very small window of time is hard. You could maybe make the argument that he's lower. But I think, like, when you dash through somebody and you 180 and you have 1 second to comprehend the situation. Who's marked? Who can I dash through? Where? Dash them, dash through them, dash through. Like, that's difficult to do. And we're talking about the ceiling, like playing the BP perfect, like slush, or maybe not slushy, like haunt level, or like the guy on TikTok level. BP is Genji on easy mode. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. You have to be flawless when you're playing BP. It has nothing to do with his skill ceiling, though. I saw you put my man in C coach. I want the cable combos to be more valid. Like, I could understand the arguments to put Luna higher. I could actually understand. I want the cable combo to be more valid. Widow better be F. That's not F. Which they leaned into his skill gap. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, like BP is like we just talked about Genji. Like, he's like a fucking, he's literally Genji with training wheels. Like, so much easier than Genji, because Genji required projectile aim, actual close range, like proper close range engagements, mechanics to hit headshots at close range, fast reaction time. There's like a lot more that Genji offered than like BP. BP is literally like, he's like a lot of, like, some of the engagements are similar, but it's like a completely stripped down version of the same. I think any healer should automatically be higher than DPS because you have a lot more important decisions to make. Knowing when to DPS or heal is huge. I disagree with that. We'll talk about that later. But all right, Widow. Where do y'all think Widow goes? What do y'all think? Those, when ranking divers, do you consider coordination with the dive tank? I mean, you can, but we're not really talking necessarily about team synergy as much. Like communication, like we're not going down that rabbit hole of like playing a character in a team coordinated environment. You know, certain types of players are supposed to like ult track and calm and coordinate, and like we can't really talk about that kind of stuff. It's too difficult to go down that rabbit hole. Black Widow, Widowmaker. So this one's hard because this one's more pure aim centric, but I also think that the aim on this character is, it's weird because I did say that aim is aim, but the ceiling of like, I don't know how to put it. It's like the tangible value to skill ceiling is real on this character. Let me explain what I mean by that. If there's a big difference between having aimbot on Luna and having aimbot on Widow, right? This is not the same thing. Like, hitting consistent shots on Luna is not the same thing as hitting consistent shots on Widow. The shots are a lot harder, and they also have a lot higher impact. I think this character is reasonably high. A tier on God. I want more frame perfect tech. Sincerely, a geometry dash player. What do y'all put Widow? What do y'all think? I think it's more than aim on Widow. Positioning, that's true. Positioning does matter, yeah. Feels high B-ish. I think it's reasonable to put Widow in around this same tier. I think this is what we do right now. I think we do that vibes tier. Because I think that the aim difficulty here, like this character can crit, so it's harder. But this character can crit, get higher value, and it's more difficult to hit the crits. And the crits matter more too. And there's less time for you to hit the crits. This character has a lot more spamming engagements versus this character has very small windows that you have to hit a shot. Like the window between, like there's a shot that you have to hit and you have a very small time to hit that shot. And if you don't hit it, you're gonna get punished for it. Doesn't really have cooldowns besides the kick. S? No, we're not putting aim skill that high. The only skill that matter on Widow is aim and positioning, but the aim skill makes the 9-day difference for value. That's true, yeah. It's a little, the aim part of this is tricky. Because I think that the aim, like aim matters here. Like aim matters a lot here. I'm gonna put her top of B. Put her top of B. I'm gonna do that. Blade. Where do y'all put Blade? Oh, Blade's a hard one. I think Blade has a pretty high skill ceiling. I think Blade actually does have a pretty high skill ceiling. S? I don't know if I'd go that far. D? Okay. What? A or B? A? I could see A. I could see B. I could see A. Slink? Why does she even have the batons? Oh, you're talking about, yeah. A? I'm not gonna lie, chat. I agree with the A placement. I think Blade is probably here. Character 2 has to tell because nothing you do matters. Yeah. I think A. I think here. That's actually facts. Think here. Got a lot going on. All right. Hot take time. Where do y'all put Daredevil? Where do y'all put Daredevil? Where do y'all put Diddy? Where is Daredevil on this list? I feel like I'm gonna rage bait some people with this shit, but Maybe, maybe not. You have to do so much with Blade to get value. Yeah, but that doesn't matter about his skill ceiling. But yeah, Daredevil is D, B, S, S, C, A, C, B, S, C, B. Left the devil out tier. A, D. Diddy is D tier. Diddy seems like S. Yeah, Daredevil is definitely S tier, chat. Definitely S tier. I'm not gonna put him. I'm gonna put him above Jeff, but underneath Gambit. The only people who say DD is low are people that don't play him. Cap, C tier, lower than Luna. All right, come on, bro. This character, his ceiling is extremely high. Extremely high. His ceiling is a character that gets perfect information, can have perfect engagements, combos and executes properly, and gets out of every engagement because he doesn't die. You can set up perfect perfect information with this character ahead of time, so you can hypothetically play around anything that could ever stop you, right? Like you could know everything because you can scout exactly where people are. You can engage only as far as you'll die. Like the perfect DD is a like he's a menace. Like there's a huge difference between a good DD, a great DD, and a fucking, like, someone that's even, not even at the skill ceiling, just, like, really good at this character. He has such a high ceiling. So Hela F, since that we're not counting aim, we're not counting aim. It's just, I don't rate aim skill as the highest skill in this game. His floor is lower, I will say, but his ceiling is extremely high. Yeah. He definitely has, like, a reasonably low skill floor. Not, like, Thing low or Rocket low, but low. Daredevil makes me nervous every time he's picked. If the team doesn't adapt, he will destroy the whole game. Yeah, definitely has a very high skill ceiling. I think this is I'm very confident in my S and F tier. Okay, I'm very confident in that. But let's talk about Hela. Where do y'all think Hela is? Hela is aim, but the shots that you have to hit are harder. Like they matter more than the shots that you have to hit on Luna. They matter more than the shots you have to hit on Ultron and even Mantis, I think. But there's no cooldown management on this character. Very low cooldown management of this character. But the shots are significantly harder. So I think like she reasonably goes somewhere around here. I don't think that you could put Hela above Widow. I don't think reasonably you could put Hela above Widow. But I think that you could make an argument. Like if we put Hela in A, we would have to put Widow here too. Between Mantis and Ultron like that. Hela is low. C above Luna. See, I don't really agree with that because the shots, the windows to hit, like you have a very small window of time to hit very mechanically demanding shots as you approach the skill ceiling of the character, right? Why can't she be above Widow? Because I think that the shots that you have to hit on Widow are more difficult with smaller windows to hit them. They're more difficult shots. But maybe I'm wrong on that. That's kind of interesting. Please tell us what skills you rank the highest in this game so we all have an idea what you're ranking. Just skill ceiling, bro. Just the skills. This is a skill ceiling tier list. No, this is my low elo tier list. Hela has to flank and she is squishy. That is true. She does require more positional stuff, but she doesn't have to really hard flank. She can like soft flank. Hela is super easy. Would Phoenix be in the same tier as Hela? Not necessarily. I think there's something. We'll get to Phoenix in a bit. Let's just talk about Phoenix right now. Actually, where do y'all think Phoenix is in relation to Hela? What do y'all think Phoenix is in relation to Hela? Where would y'all put her? You said that you don't rank aim skill very high. What do you rank higher? It's not just skill ceiling. You're picking certain skills that you think are harder or more important. No, I'm talking about practical skill ceiling, right? We cannot just say if it requires aim has an infinite skill ceiling, let's put it in the S tier. If you do that, like technically Rocket requires aim, right? So are we going to rate Rocket in the S tier because aim has an infinite skill ceiling and this character can shoot things? Is that what we're going to do? Do you see how it doesn't actually work to just say aim has infinite aim skill? So we're just going to put every character that can aim in the highest tier because aim has an infinite scaling. Like skill ceiling technically is infinite. So let's just put Rocket in the S tier, right? It doesn't make sense. We can't do that. We have to think about practical aim skill versus value. Like how reasonable or realistic does that aim skill actually matter to the character? And then gauge that based on other things that other characters provide or need, right? The reason that Adam is higher than Hela, for example, is because Adam requires a lot of the same aim skill as Hela, but also with lots of cooldown management too. So there's multiple layers Now, characters up here, like Jeff, might not require the aim skill of Hela, but he requires a lot more other skills that make him deeper. Basically, like, what I'm saying here is that aim skill alone is not enough to make a character matter. The practicality of that aim skill, when compared to the value of the character, matter. And then also, even just, like, aim that just truly, really, really matters is not enough to push a character, like, above B. If the character only has like pure aim and that's all that matters, and that's like the only important thing about the character, that character would basically only be B. Like if there's a character that could just stand AFK and just shoot things, they're only being B. They're not going any higher than that because they need more than that in order to be higher. Because I think these characters require more than that to be their ceiling. Phoenix is easier, lower skill ceiling. Phoenix is easier than Hela. What are the skills that make a character matter? Yeah, I think Phoenix. It's a little tricky. Phoenix does have more movement to consider. Yeah, I probably could see. I could see Phoenix being like this. You can also feed support all super easily, which is bad requirement game sense to know when to be shooting. What are we ranking? I am confused. This is a goon tier list. Okay, next up is Hawkeye. Hawkeye. What do y'all put Hawkeye? I think Hawkeye is high. I think Hawkeye is actually high. I just got here. No, it's a skill ceiling tier list. Phoenix takes less skill than Luna. I don't think so. Skill ceiling? I don't think so. No way Phoenix is below Hela. The shots are harder to hit on Hela, like, and they have higher ceilings of impact. It's a little hard. It's a little hard because like wrong answers only. Hawkeye extending the aim discussion. Yeah, we just keep running into this fucking aim wall nonstop. But okay, I'm revising everything I've said about aim. If the aiming matters to the value ceiling of the character directly, then that character is automatically going to be higher on the list if aim is all they provide. Of course, other things are going to matter if they have like a lot of cooldowns and shit like that. I'm putting Hawkeye here. Is this just season 6? If so, something looks off. Skill ceiling, I'd say that Hawkeye isn't super high. See, I disagree. Because I think that Hawkeye requires the most difficult aim to hit consistently with small windows to hit those aims. Plus, he has to position extremely well because he cannot position on off angles. He cannot position at absolute ranges like Widow, nor can he position on off angles like Hela's and Phoenix's. He has to play front to back, which means that the windows of him to hit shots are very, very specific, right? It's like when someone crosses through front to back. Now, when people are just standing there AFK and he gets to shoot like 10 times and eventually kill the rocket, I mean, that's easy. But like, we're talking about the skill ceiling on the character, right? We're not talking about like a rocket trolling. I don't think I'd put Hawkeye in S. I don't think I'd put Hawkeye in S. I think I could justifiably put Hawkeye. Here. Probably here. If aiming is the only thing you could do with the character, then of course aim matters. That's true. There's also a difficulty scale on the shots. Why does my camera keep going fucking dark randomly? But the hitbox is super forgiving and you're going down main, you can get value. The hitbox is not super forgiving at all. Talk about what do you mean that the hitbox is super forgiving? I disagree. Is Blade an A tier just because he's bad? No, he's difficult. I think he's difficult to master. You gotta like perfectly know when to engage. You have to know your limits. You have to know how to ult in ways that matter. You have to know how to balance sword, omnivamp with your primary. Has nothing to do with him being bad or good. His arrow hitbox is bigger than you think. No, I know exactly how big it is. What are you talking about? Yeah, the fact that you have to charge the shot is too hard. Hawkeye's shots bug out and give a lot of free headshots. Yeah, but there's also like a whole bunch of times it gets no regs. Like once again, we're talking about the ceiling on this character. We're not talking about like the random RNG times that you died of Hawkeye. Like that has nothing to do with the character's skill ceiling, by the way. Dying randomly has nothing to do with the character's skills. We can't count bugs. Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Like the no regs are disgusting. Yeah. The comment section alone tells me people are not playing this game correctly. Okay, let's keep going. Human Torch. Where do y'all think this character goes? Human Torch. I actually think this character has a reasonably high skill ceiling, actually. Timing, flanking, movement tech, aim. Reasonably high. A for sure. A or S. Okay, I agree with y'all. A, but where? Is Torch harder to play to his ceiling than Blade is? Or Hawkeye? I could see the answer being yes. I could see this character being here. Skill ceiling tier list. Yeah, skill ceiling. I can see the character being here. I don't think that he's harder to play at his skill ceiling than Adam. Above Blade and Hawk. I think this is reasonable. Torch is B. He is harder than Adam. You think he's harder than Adam? Maybe. Maybe. We could make that justification. What do y'all think, chat? Torch or Adam? What do y'all think is harder? What do y'all think? Kind of on the fence. Kind of on the fence. A little. Torch doesn't have a lot of simulators of the characters that you can transfer over, in my opinion. I mean, that's true. Ceiling-wise, Adam. Season 3, Spidey is Z tier. That was a bad season. Adam. Yeah, top of A, Torch harder. Position as a flyer is super important. Adam. It's pretty close. I'm just gonna put them. I'm just gonna leave it right here. I could see the arguments for either or. I could see the arguments for either or. I can see it. Let's go ahead and go with Hugh with Iron Fist. Where do y'all think Iron Fist goes? Where are we thinking Iron Fist, chat? Where are we thinking Iron Fist? No aim skill, but cooldown management, anticipation of cooldowns, matchup understanding, needs to make decisions on a fast cadence. I got an S and I got a D. All right, bro. Iron Fist just around BP. A lot of inting Iron Fist, so it must be S. He's B, B to A, D, A. Iron Fist, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like Iron Fist is one of the harder ones to place. He's one of the hardest ones to place, because in some ways his cycle is super simple. Like super simple. But it's like easier said than done, you know? The cycle is easier said than done. Iron Fist skill ceiling is crazy. Think of the good ones and the average ones. That is true. That is true. I do think that there's a lot of times that Iron Fists succeed or don't succeed purely based on just fucking like whether people counter swap or not. Prime Torch being a different spot, probably not, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, we Massive Fist, it's way easy to compare to others. Massive Fist, it's way easier to compare. B hopping kind of feels like he has the same approach as BP usually. I think I could probably put him like around here. Like I would probably put him here. This might be too low. I feel like I'm rage baiting chat by putting him lower than some of these other characters, but I think he's here. He doesn't have a 0. Like he has a pretty high skill ceiling. Like B is pretty high, but would we say that he's harder to master than Widow? I don't know. It's hard. He's a hard one. We could say A. I will say that I think Iron Fist was harder to master at his skill ceiling before they did damage-based HP. When he was a backline assassin, I feel like he had a higher skill ceiling. If we skip to Squirrel Girl and put her S tier for the ultimate rage bait, Squirrel Girl is definitely gonna rage bait a couple of y'all, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Can't wait for the next character tier list. What? Okay. All right, let's keep going. And let's speak now or forever hold your peace on fucking Iron Fist. But we'll keep going. He's way harder to master than Hela or Widow. You only need to know how to aim on them. Iron Fist requires a lot more knowledge and skill. He does require more on knowledge, but I do disagree with the idea that you only need to aim. Fist is too low, bro. Yeah. Where would y'all put him? I could put him here. I could slide him here. If so, y'all legitimately think Iron Fist is harder to master than or higher skill ceiling than Widow? Squirrel Girl S because bottom A. A new player playing Iron Fist is gonna get wrecked. Even a new player can aim on Hela. Yeah, but new player has nothing to do with skill ceiling. Like absolutely nothing. Widow is bad, design, meta, etc. Fist can be played at least. I have a hard time seeing if higher than BP. Iron Fist higher than BP? I don't think so. I think Iron Fist has a lot more decision making. Like they're slower decisions though. Here's the difference. Like BP, oftentimes, even at his skill ceiling, goes in, baits out cooldowns, and leaves. Iron Fist has to do a lot more predicting. Like he can get value from understanding the other side of the matchup in a way that I think BP doesn't have to understand that deeply. Like knowing how your opponent's going to respond to you on Iron Fist changes how you can use your block, right? Versus BP oftentimes doesn't do that. He's like, he doesn't have to think about what you do with your cooldown because his whole goal is just to get you to use it and then you leave. It's not to like outplay the cooldown, I guess, if that makes sense. But maybe I'm wrong. Well, we're gonna leave it like this and move on for now. All right, Iron Man. Where is Iron Man? I think Iron Man has a really high skill ceiling, chat. Is that rage bait or what? I think this character is actually high skill ceiling. He requires multiple types of aim, tracking, projectile, ult timing, positioning. I think this character is D, C, D. Bro, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? That is. You said this is a skill ceiling tier list. Yeah, skill ceiling tier list. What's up, Mitch? Yo, I wanted to hear what you had to say about it. Yo, thank you so much for the sub. No aim? Iron Fist requires multiple types of aim. Disagree, D? Okay, y'all are trolling. Y'all have to be trolling. I've never seen an Iron Fist that isn't feeding. Iron Man that isn't feeding. I mean, we can go back to the whole Gamma meta. Like Iron Man could carry. It's the same character skill. Like, it's literally the same character skill. Hard to choose, maybe B. I disagree. I think this character is high. I think this character is really high. The character is just positioning and aim. And we're talking about the ceiling of the character, guys. We're not talking about the fucking Iron Man that just sit there and spam from the skybox, okay? A. People don't look up. That's the problem with Iron I be shooting down Iron Man's left and right. Iron Man just around Hela. The hero is brain dead levels. Chat, no, I'm doing it, chat. Y'all, I'm doing it. I'm putting him right here. Boom. Right here. Iron Man has to lead his ult too. I'm putting him right here. I think every part of Iron Man's kit requires skill. This is not rage bait. This is not rage bait. Yeah, but it's not any more aim intensive than the other non-hit scan characters. Hell no. Why am I getting question marks? This character requires good positioning to not die. This character requires multiple types of aim. Tracking, projectile. This character requires timing. This character is extremely fragile, so you have to position really well around the map. You have to time his ultimates really well. Skill ceiling tier list, yeah. See it best? No. Skill ceiling, chat. I'm not talking about the fucking floor of this character. He's not budging on this one. No, I'm not. That's crazy that y'all think this character is C, bro. That is crazy, I think. I think that's crazy. What Iron Man have you been watching? My thing is, I don't think that people are even close to the skill ceiling on this character. Like, I honestly think that a pro could pick up Iron Man today and climb to top 500 with Iron Man. Even though no one's succeeding with Iron Man, that doesn't mean I don't think he has a really high skill ceiling. He's just like, he's a character that is extremely hard to get value. That's why no one's succeeding with him. Not because he doesn't have a high skill ceiling, because he does. And I think like a pro today could dominate with him in the right hands. If you look up he's dead and get no value, if you looked up and then you kill the Iron Man just in the neutral, then that Iron Man is not playing close to the skill ceiling of the character. I would say A at best, since Iron Man has a very effective to be long and close range. But I think the fact that understanding, targeting, and abusing any individuals who pushes too deep, the amount of value you can get from one Iron Man ult, me personally, Jeff, Hawkeye, Cloak, all deserve to be lower in this list. See, we talked about all that, true. I think here, I'll give you my arguments for all of them. Number one, I think Cloak and Dagger, there's a lot of abilities that really, really matter their timing. And managing them perfectly is something that 99% of Cloak and Daggers do not do. Anticipating certain ultimates, saving or conserving cooldowns for them, comboing your cooldowns aggressively, also knowing what can kill you out of your ultimate. Like, there's a lot built in there. We talked about it earlier. Hawkeye, he has high aim skill, but he also has a very narrow window to hit hard shots, right? Like, unlike characters like Hela, who can off angle, he has to play front to back, and characters are only gonna peek him front to back. So he has like a much smaller window to hit a hard shot in order to carry. To reach his skill ceiling, you have to be consistently hitting those shots. And then Jeff is a character that just has tons of cooldown management, can position in many dynamic ways. His ultimate requires like a good Jeff and a great Jeff and like an amazing Jeff. They ult completely different from one another. Knowing their limits, the movement of the character, the cooldown management of the character to never die. Like, even in your games, Mitch, you can see the difference between a bad Jeff, a good Jeff, a great Jeff. And, like, there's some god tier Jeffs you run into that are, like, consistently top 500. They just don't fucking feed. They don't die. They end most games, like, 27-0. Like, the character just has a really high skill ceiling. You gotta wait out Iron Man and Mag with C and D. Yeah, that's true, yeah. There's other things that can fuck you up, too. And you need to adapt how you play that. You also need to know, like, what's the tempo of the lobby? Like, do they have defensive ults? Can I use my ult aggressively? How can I win this fight right now? Like, there's a lot of things you can think about. Skill tier list, yeah. But no one playing Iron Man and Mag ult isn't even that hard to dodge. It's mainly Bubble and Tear Cape. What's up, Coach Gap? How you doing, bro? All right, let's keep chugging through this, or else we're gonna be doing this shit forever. All right, Magic. I think Magic is high as fuck. What do y'all think Magic's skill ceiling is, chat? What we put in this character? Hawkeye just reminds me of Hanzo. Spam shots at head level with your eyes closed and you still win. That's the thing, Mitch. That's the thing. You might not like it, bro. But Hanzo had a really, really high skill ceiling, bro. You might not like it. Just because a character can get value from bullshit RNG does not mean that bullshit RNG is the skill ceiling of the character, right? Like, the skill ceiling of a character is way different. It's just like with Junkrat. Like, Junkrat, very high skill ceiling on Junkrat. I don't really think any, like, dedicated Overwatch player would say that Junkrat doesn't have a high skill ceiling. Did you die to that character's bullshit a lot? Yeah, you absolutely did. It doesn't change its skill ceiling. Missed a lot. What's up, Zuri? Maybe S. I think Hawkeye belongs in Widow tier. My argument between the difference between these is both of these characters have to hit hard shots to matter. Hawkeye gets a lot less of a window to hit those shots. Because this character can play from max range. And this character can hit shots from off angles. Versus Hawkeye has to charge, has to hit shots front to back, and only gets a very small window of time to hit those shots. He cannot off angle. He has to position front to back. Like, the shots that he has, this makes the shots that he has to hit harder with a smaller window of time to hit those shots. And it's like, and you could say, well, no, not if he's not contested, but if we're talking about the skill ceiling of the character, we're talking about characters that are being tested. Like, when you are being tested, you're going to be having to hit hard shots at the skill ceiling of the character. Crazy late night stream. Yes, sir. What's up, bro? It's not so much about the positioning difficulty. It's just about the difficulty of hitting the shots. Like, it just makes the shots harder to hit. Okay, anyways. Magic. I think Magic is at the bottom of S. I think Magic is at the bottom of S, chat. I think you could maybe make the argument that she's above Jeff. Let's put her there. What do y'all think? I think Magic has a very, very high skills. Very high skills. Magic is S tier alone because of her dash no rank. Okay. Mr. Fanta SSS plus tier. Yeah, I think Magic is just a character that has so much depth on the character. If we talk about the Gambit skill ceiling, I think that Adam should be S. I mean, the thing about Adam is he has a high mechanical skill ceiling, but his cooldown management is not that deep. He has, I mean, I'm not saying it's 0. It's just not that deep. He has Soul Bond that he uses defensively, and then he has packs that is used when he needs to use them. Managing those packs and managing that Soul Bond is a skill. I don't think it's a deeper skill than, like, Loki management of cooldowns or frickin' Gambit's management of cooldown. It's still a skill, though. He's still technical. I like Adam in A for sure. Thing in Rocket F tier, no way, Mills. We're talking about the skill ceiling, by the way. All right, Mr. Fent. Where is Mr. Fent, chat? This one, I might be mad biased here. I'm gonna put this character mad fucking low. Where's Mr. Fent, bro? Where's Mr. Fent? Is Mr. Fent harder or easier to master than Black Panther, chat? What elo is this tier list for? It's for top of S. All right. Yes. I got Fist above C and D, lower than Hawk. No way Iron Man is right there. I will die on the Iron Man hill, chat. I will absolutely die on the Iron Man hill. I will absolutely die on the Iron Man hill. I think he's B as well. B tier. C. Fanta A. He's probably like here. You could justify him being higher. He's a hard one to evaluate, I'm not gonna lie. Rip Coach Mill. L take? What do you mean L take? Low B? I think people just getting the list confused. It's a skill ceiling tier list, not overall how good they are. Yes. Skill ceiling. Skill ceiling, yes. Like, where's the peak skill expression of the character? Like, I think a good way to think about this, chat, is a pro that has never fucking played the character. Okay, let's just say you're a pro for 100 Thieves, right? You've never fucking played the character, but your org says, we need you to learn this character, and we're gonna win the fucking tournament tomorrow. The characters at the top are gonna be characters that are fucking impossible to learn in a night, and the characters at the bottom are gonna be characters that, yeah, you could probably learn from the tournament tomorrow. Like, if you're a fucking, let's just say you're like a Cat Mag Groot Venom player, and they're like, bro, we need you to learn fucking thing. You got today to learn the thing and play it in the tournament tomorrow. They could probably do that shit. Okay, they could probably do that shit. But if you had a Psylocke, Hela, or like a Magic Star-Lord player, and they're like, bro, we need you to learn Spider-Man for the tournament tomorrow. There's no fucking way that's happening. It's just not happening, like, at all. There's just no way. It's just not happening. You're cooked. You're fucking cooked. And it's the same thing. If you have like a Luna Invis player and you're like, yo, we are gonna play Hard Dive tomorrow. I need you to learn Jeff tonight. That shit is not working. That shit is not gonna work. That fucking, that Invis Luna player is not learning Jeff in a fucking day and not feed it, or they're gonna feed their fucking brains out at the tournament. They just are. They just are. That's the way that you can kind of evaluate this list. So how hard is this character? No, this is just kind of to give you an example, but yeah, skill ceiling. Like, he has a good cooldown management and about time to play around them. Wait, what are we talking about? Oh, Mr. Fent. Y'all think this guy is higher? Y'all think Mr. Fent is higher? I think that I know of Mr. Fents that are insane. Like, there are Mr. Fents that are insane. They know there are limits. I think the character is harder than people think, but I don't necessarily think he's harder than some of these other characters. Luna's in B tier for you. We kind of talked about aim skill. That's mainly what she's evaluated on. Positioning and aim skill, not much else. Phoenix brain dead, though. All right, we're going to move on. Moon Knight. Where do y'all put Moon Knight? Mr. Fantastic has to be lower, low key. Why is Jeff in S tier? This character is hard to master. He has an extremely high skill ceiling. Every time, bro. Every time. People lose their mind. Moon Knight, D tier. B as well. Maybe B. D or F? You think it's that? I think Moon Knight is like here. Is that rage bait? I know I keep asking that. Is that rage bait? Somewhat same situation as Luna. A? I don't think so. Only thing that changes for me is hitting shots without onks. That's bait? What do you mean that's bait? Are you deadass gonna tell me that you think it's harder to master Moon Knight than it is Hela or Mantis? That's the majority of Marvel Rivals players, even those playing dive characters, don't know how to actually dive. Fair to be an S tier. Yeah, I mean, y'all know the lows of a Jeff, but there are highs of a Jeff too. People don't know that Moon Knight can be headshot crit. Moon Knight is just positioning and aim. I think Hela belongs in C too. I'm gonna put him in C, chat. I'm gonna put him in C. He still requires like good positioning, ability, timing. I'm gonna put him in C. You could maybe move him around a little bit, but I think he's here. Maybe like here. Okay, chat. This one might be a little tricky. What about Namor? Where do y'all think Namor is? Where do y'all think Namor is? D for the king. S plus D. She was harder before she went to C like a season ago. B. Namor is A. So I think most of the skill about Namor is, I mean, hitting your ultimates, flank timing, mechanics, like hitting your abilities. I'm gonna say he does get away with a lot, and he's forgiven for a lot. I think you could reasonably put him about the same as Gene. Will is hard to hit. Yeah, I think probably about the same as Gene, most likely. I'd say and not say B. Yeah, I think he's reasonably about the same as Gene. Projectile hit takes skill to aim. That's true. Yeah, sounds fair. Yeah, I think if we're putting Gene here, they kind of deserve similar spots. Psylocke. Where's Psylocke, chat? Come on. Everyone should have the same fucking answer here. Can we all have the same answer here, please? Please, chat. Skip to Thor? Hell nah. He's at the end. You gotta stick around. And then we're going back to Spider-Man gameplay. I said everyone should have the same answer. All right, y'all are trolling. That's just no way. Psylocke is C tier? All right. Y'all are all trolling. Chat. Psylocke is here, bro. Psylocke is 1,000% right here. Psylocke S for me, except when she has an ult. She's an ult merchant. But like, okay, chat, y'all gotta understand. Being an ult merchant, just farming tanks and ulting backline, is that the skill ceiling of the character? Y'all tell me. Y'all keep saying ult merchant. Even when she could build ult really quickly. Is shooting at tanks all game and going backline and pressing Q, is that the skill ceiling of the character? Is that the skill ceiling of the character? Y'all tell me. She's A. She requires cooldown management, positioning, timing, hard aim mechanics. What is this tier list about? This is about who's the best dressed. I think if the winning start, then it's a ceiling for me in the meta. No way Sai should be in the same tier as Magic, Spider-Man, or Daredevil. Yes, she should. I see that, especially the fact that she doesn't have a lot of resources at most, but makes up for by understanding how to flank and when to attack best. Plus, like the whole mechanic of getting your cooldowns back when you hit, like getting your dash cooldown back when you hit, like playing this character at like a perfect peak where there's like no wasted movement, everything's super optimal, hitting your mechanics extremely well, like all that is very hard. You're fragile also as a character. You could easily be killed if you're caught out of position. You just need positioning and aim. No, not to play this character at its peak. Has been S for the entirety of the game's existence. Agreed. She has like 2 seconds to hide, bro. Stop. Once again, power level does not matter. Ultron should be at the bottom of the list. No, he requires aim. Psylocke 2 dashes and invisibility, bro. Once again, it has nothing to do with the fucking power level of the character, chat. It has to do with what is the difference between the floor and the ceiling of this character. How hard is it to get to the peak Like, another way to think about this list is how many hours would it take you to reach the pinnacle of this character? If we think about the pinnacle of this character, how many hours? How many hours would it take for you to reach the pinnacle? Like, if time stopped right now, and like, I don't know, let's just say Day. I think most people consider Day to be the best Spider-Man. If Day could not play the game anymore, how many hours would you have to put into the game to become as good as Day? How many? How many hours would you have to put in Spider-Man, I mean, to become as good as Day? How many hours? How many fucking hours? To reach that level. He's not even at the skill ceiling, hypothetically, but he's as close to anyone that exists, right? Like 30 minutes, sorry. It's the same thing with Psy. Like, let's just say, like, who's the best Psy in the world, chat? Who's the best Psylocke in the world? Who's the best fucking Psylocke in the world? Who's the best Psylocke in the world? How many hours do you think it would take you to become that good? Is it like Tap? Is Tap the best? Who's the fucking best Psylocke in the world? How many hours would it take you to get that good at this character? I don't see a lot of Psylocks that can play its perfection without missing a shot. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. Like, even the best Psylocks in the world don't play the character absolutely perfectly, too. Death in Gaming, the best Psylocke. Nectar, the best. Tap, probably, yeah. Like, how, in order to become Tap, what would you need to do to become Tap? You would need perfect mechanics. You would need perfect ability understanding. You would need probably hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of repetition. Why is Iron Man so high? All right, y'all are rage baiting me. All right, Scarlet Witch, chat. Where are we putting Scarlet Witch? I think y'all know. I have 120 hours on him. To reach his level, probably 800 and 900. There you go, yeah. We agree, but she's not S. I disagree, bro. I disagree. Come on, man. F tier, S tier. I think this character is probably here. If Scarlet's not an F, you could maybe make the argument a D. I think the ceiling of this character is interesting, but like, there is only so far you can go with the ceiling, though. Now that I think about it, there is only so far you can go. Where like a lot of characters have like a very, very high skill ceiling. D tier. I think like D. I think D's fine. You lost me here? Her stun was an interesting change. D. I think this is fine. I think D is fine. Scarlet does not have the same skill ceiling as Luna. Yeah, I agree. I think this is fine. I think D is fine. You could make the argument for bottom of D or bottom of C, but I think D is fine. D is fine for the character is harder to master than people think, though. I mean, like, by the way, I'm not calling, like, even though I think Rocket and the Thing probably have the lowest skill ceiling in the game, that doesn't mean that they don't have a rather, like, reasonably high skill ceiling. Like, it's the lowest in the game, but there is a lot of room to get better, like, on these characters. Now, unfortunately, a lot of the ways that you get better on these characters is, like, understanding the role more than the character itself. But I think that's also probably true with Scarlet Witch, right? You're hating on Elise with that rocket and thing placement. Squirrel Girl is S tier. Oh god, the rage bait is here, chat. The rage bait is here. Where do y'all think I'm gonna put Squirrel Girl, bro? Legit, where do you think I'm gonna put Squirrel Girl? Y'all are actually gonna get pissed off. You put Star-Lord take? What? Interesting in your Star-Lord take and tanks? Yeah. A or S, A, C, all tanks S tier. D, C, right along with Scarlet, D, S nuts. I'm not gonna lie, chat. I'm putting Squirrel Girl right here. No gap. Right next to Iron Fist. No, not that high. I'm putting Squirrel Girl. Is the lowest C? No. I'm putting Squirrel Girl at above Jean. This is probably rage bait to some of y'all. Being able to pull off her ult in the higher elo. Now you have to be trolling? World, go on. Why do y'all not think this is legit? Squirrel Girl above Goon Knight. Here's the thing. Just because a lot of Squirrel Girls don't do it doesn't mean that the character doesn't have high levels of potential aim. Now, don't get me wrong. You can get a lot of value from not aiming. That doesn't mean that's the ceiling of the character. Like a peak. God damn it. Like a peak Squirrel Girl is aiming, bro. Like they're aiming. They're hitting harder shots. Also, mechanically, you have to be really, really tight on this character. Squirrel Girl above Goon is crazy? I don't think so. You can't be serious. Pure rage bait. Okay, I'm seeing it here, chat. Yeah, chat, the YouTube, this video is going on YouTube, by the way. I know the comments are gonna be frothing. I do not give a fuck. Squirrel Girl has a higher skill ceiling than Black Panther. Okay, anyways, we're moving on. L tier at best. Don't get baited, chat. Yeah, this is definitely not a rage bait tier list. All right, this is your opinion. No. This is just fact. That's actually just fact. This is not an opinion, chat. This is fact. Where's Star-Lord? What do y'all think? Where do y'all put Star-Lord? I politely disagree. No. Well, that's certainly a choice. See, like, chat, we keep running into the same fucking wall where all of y'all are thinking about is the skill floor of the character. That's all y'all are thinking about. You're just thinking about Squirrel Girls that turn their brain off and just shoot down main. You're thinking of Cloak and Daggers that randomly ult into the fight. You're thinking about Iron Mans that fly up in the open. Like, that's all y'all are thinking about. That's not what we're fucking talking about. We're not talking about the skill floor. We're not even talking about the average skill of the characters. We're talking about the skill ceiling. The best of the fucking best. That's what we're talking about. Playing the character at a perfect, the highest they could possibly be played. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about fucking Timmy Toddler in your goddamn plat games. We're not talking about that fucking guy, okay? We're not. I'm sorry. We're not talking about Iron Man Lover 69 in your fucking console Grandmaster games. We're not talking about him either. We're not talking about these fucking people. We're not. That's not who we're talking about. You turn this into a cloud show when you put Cloak A tier. That, I'm so confident of this listing, it's crazy. There's toddlers in plat. No, Timmy Toddler is fucking 42. Is Star-Lord is below Dagger and Cloak, bro. Y'all are gonna hate me. No, I'm fucking with y'all, bro. Come on, bro. Are y'all serious? He's right here, bro. He's literally right here. He's literally right here. He's literally right here. Star-Lord is below Dagger and Cloak. I'm done. I should have put it below and then just left it there until you left. I got my boy to play on the second day of ever the game. Yes, S tier is a fair for Star-Lord. There you go. Look at that. Look at that, chat. I get someone that agrees, okay? I don't think Cloak in A is good. It is. We've talked about it ad nauseum. We've literally beat the fucking horse to death. I'm so confident that Cloak and Dagger is A. I'm so confident that Cloak and Dagger is harder to play at their skill ceiling than Invis, Iron Fist, Black Panther, Black Widow, Luna, Mantis, Hela, Ultron, Namor, Squirrel Girl, Mr. Fantastic, fucking Jean Grey, Luna, Moon Knight, Scarlet Witch, Rocket, and Thing. 10,000% positive. With the slight exception of if you think aim skill deserves higher mention, which I don't believe so. Especially this kind of aim skill. Cloak Bubble's been busted. I think that's what brings her kit down for you. Whether or not something is busted has no impact about the character's skill ceiling. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. We've been over this a million times. It doesn't matter if something is busted or not. It does not change the skill ceiling of the character. We literally talked about the car analogy. Just because a car is faster does not mean that the motorcycle is easier to drive. Okay? That you can understand that a motorcycle that is slower than a fucking Toyota is still harder to drive perfectly than the fucking Toyota. Okay? Let's move on. Divine would probably disagree with you, to be honest. I love Divine. I love Divine. Divine, I watch their streams all the time. I'm a big fan of Divine. I play with them in a tournament. They are not playing the character close to the character's skill ceiling. All right? Not even close. Not even fucking remotely close. Nothing wrong with Toyotas. No, I know that. I have a Toyota. If you can nearly master a character in 10 hours, it's not A tier. You can't nearly master Cloak and Dagger in 10 hours. You can't. If you think you're close to mastering that character in 10 hours, send me a fucking VOD and I'm gonna prove you wrong. Why is Daredevil S? The character is very, very difficult to master. Paz would cry, laugh at this list. Paz would cry, laugh at playing BP in fucking plat, okay? All right. I need to calm down. Let's move on. I'll tell him that you said he was terrible. No, that's not what I said. He's gonna only play Telog now. Okay, Storm. Where do y'all have Storm? I don't think Storm. I have Storm on the easier side of things. I hope you're happy. Why you do this to me, bro? Why you do this to me? Why? Y'all are quickly turning this into a crash out stream. I can't even put this on YouTube. I'm still going to. Why even ask us, coach? Because I'm curious your opinion, bro. Y'all have changed my mind about a couple things. But I think the issue I'm seeing is that how hard is it to master a character or a tier list of characters versus each other at their ceiling? It's just about, like, it's not necessarily mastering a character. Because there is no, like, the idea of a skill ceiling is that characters have a... Like, you're technically never going to be a master at a character or, like, perfect at a character, right? There's always development to go. It's just about how far does that development reach, right? Like as an example, I think that the first 100 hours of the thing, like if you put 100 hours into the thing, I think you're already pretty close to a skill sync. If we look at curves like this, let me whip out the epic pen. We're whipping out the fucking epic pen, chat. So if we think about the thing, let's say this is 1 hour, 1 hour. Let's say that this is 10 hour, and let's say this is 100 hour. All right, are y'all with me so far? Boom, y'all should be. All right, that's that. And then on this side is, this is skill. Like, this is basically like skill improvement. Improve. Okay, I don't really know how to put it, but like how much you're improving, like how much better are you getting on the character? This is not perfect, but if we're talking about the thing, let's just say that let's just do yellow. Yellow is the thing. So in that first hour, you're gonna get dramatically better. So like this is like how good you're getting, right? Like this is like, let's just say like this is the ceiling of skill on the character, and this is like the floor. On the thing, the first hour, you're getting a lot better. By hour 10, you're getting better, but like probably by like hour 12, you're already teetering off. And so like at this point, past like hour 15, you're not improving that much anymore. Not every character is going to look like this. Some characters, like let's just say Spider-Man, for instance, going back to Spider-Man, is like, I literally think Spider-Man probably looks like the opposite. It looks like this. And then once it gets past 100, like if we went to the 1,000, like if this was, I got to redraw the thing, but like Spider-Man would literally look like this. If this is a different graph and like this is like 1,000, Spider-Man would probably look like this into this slowly like that. But like versus the thing looking legit like this. You see what I'm talking about here? You see this graph right here? The thing has stopped dramatically improving per hour by like maybe hour 30 or 40 versus it's not even till like hour fucking 200 that we're even seeing a slight slowdown in how much you're gaining on the character. I know that this isn't a perfect graph, but this is the concept that I'm playing with here, where it's like a character has an extremely high ceiling when the character requires a lot of hours of dedication for you to even start to see slowdowns in your development on the character. If your development of the character slows to a crawl within the first 20 and 30 hours of you playing that character, the character doesn't have a very high skill ceiling. This doesn't. Now explain how a Scarlet with 10 hours and 100 hours of gained skill. I mean, we have them in D tier. There's a reason that they're low. I want to rage bait streamers so they just pull out pictures. I would say the thing, yeah, we got to talk, the skill floor, and yeah. But anyways, this is just a graph so where y'all can understand. I'm sure no one in chat will get it, and I'm just going to go back to yelling at chat in a second. But anyways, let's keep going. Spider-Man is an exponential skill, and thing is a... okay. Chat, this might be... I think that Storm is like here. I think that Storm's like here. I think Storm's not that high a skill set. Fairly simple character to pick up. If you can't learn him, you yourself are brain dead. Okay. So Rogue is S+. All right, chat. What about Punisher? Where do y'all think Punisher places? Because I think Punisher is a hard... I mean, he's not. He's like kind of brain dead. But there are parts of his kit that are a little difficult, like shotgun usage and stuff. But like, I don't really know. It's weird. Like, I don't really think you need to be flying into enemy teams and whipping out your shotgun to be at the skill ceiling of the character. He's mostly just aim skill, right? I think confusion between floor and ceiling will peak with Bucky. Yeah, that's true. If you have mechanical aim skill too, I don't think I could put him higher than some of these other ones. I probably would put him like maybe here. Zipline tech is a skill? Yeah, it is, yeah. Canceling ults consistently. Do you think he's harder or easier than Mantis? What do y'all think? Harder or easier than Mantis? Harder? Easier? All right, y'all are trolling. Honestly, this list is pretty good. I just have a few characters that I disagree with, but I'll wait till the end. Yeah, we can debate it at the end. Probably C since we have so many in B. Easier? Okay. I got a lot of easier. All right, I'm putting right there. All right, I'm making an executive decision of moving that character there. Shave your mustache. All right. Okay, Bucky. Where do y'all have Bucky? Skill, ceiling. Okay? Skill, ceiling. Skill, ceiling. Where we have Bucky? What do we got, Bucky? L Fanta take. All right, y'all are just trolling me. You know what? I'm gonna piss y'all off even more. Boom. Boom. There you go. F. B for bum. Also, Mantis has a wonky projectile that no regs. B or C. Bucky really isn't that hard to master. Yeah, but we're talking about the skill ceiling of the character. Like, what is the best you could possibly be on this character? It's probably not that far different than a lot of aim skill, but it's also some amount of ability usage. Low A, D, S, A or B. Not much to him. I think I would reasonably put him either like here or like here. I don't really know. I think you could probably justify him right there. I think S. I don't know about that. He's a hard one to place. Even though, yeah, he's a very hard one to place. Because, like, I think where a lot of people get tripped up, at least I do, is that the character gets a lot of value at his skill floor. Like, the character's actually really easy to get a ton of value with towards his floor. But ceiling is different. Like, never missing a shot, hitting 180 hooks into ultimate cancels. Like, there is definitely a ceiling that's pretty high on the character, but I don't know if that ceiling is harder to reach than, like, the ceiling of Mantis. He got so much he can do. His ult's hard to use, too. Yeah, the hook makes it A. Knowing when to save your hook for upcoming ults. Hook skill. I guess hook skill does require stuff. You gotta hit that hook skill. Seeing the top Buckies in the early games were insane. That's true. The skilling is definitely higher. Y'all think Bucky has a higher ceiling than Widow? Do y'all think Bucky has a higher ceiling than Iron Fist? Like, terror on Bucky's insane. True. That's true. Iron Fist? Yeah. Okay, I'll take y'all's word for it. We'll put him here. Y'all think higher than Invis, though? I don't think so. I think this is where we stop. Low A for me. I think where we stop right here. I don't think we go any further. You just don't think he reaches the ceiling? I could agree with that. Like, most people just kind of flutter between, like, and myself included, as someone who has a ton of hours in Bucky, I just flutter between this, like, this okay, reasonable Bucky skill, right? There's a way difference. Like, the difference between myself and, like, someone who is, like, there's a lot more progression to go before we even, like, tatering off the skill ceiling up. Not higher than this. I'm gonna keep it right there. Okay, Wolverine. This one's a little tricky. What do y'all think Wolverine's at? Invis being a strategist, effect placement. Yeah, a lot of supports are gonna be rather hard to master comparatively. No cute clue, actually. So, mechanically, this character takes very little from you. I'll say that. But there are other aspects of him that can be difficult, like understanding aggression, target priority, ultimate. He's so weird. Above Bucky, I don't think I could give him that. He doesn't require any mechanics. Wolf's got to be A. It's hard, because it's like he's a non-mechanical character. But I don't think I could put him above Iron Fist. I'm not gonna cap. I don't think it makes sense to put, like, if we compare Iron Fist and Wolverine neck and neck, it does not make sense to me to put him above Iron Fist. I think above Punisher, I could see that. Higher than Widow, I think. I don't know. I see him drop tanks off the map every grab. He has a lot of wonky stuff with map knowledge when kidnapping people, but it's very simple. He needs cooldown management. You are wrong. You think that he's harder to master than Iron Fist? He has a higher skill ceiling than Iron Fist. Anyone in Celestial can go Logan and get value when needed. That's true. Yeah, I agree. But that's not skill ceiling, though. But yeah. I put him low B for his ult and grabs that ult. Yeah, I would probably put him... I think he's probably here, chat. This one might be a hot take. I don't think he's that high. Because yes, he requires cooldown management, but every character does to this extent. And, like, you could even make the argument that he's easier to master than Bucky, or yeah, easier. Like, if Black Panther, not Bucky, Black Panther. Do you think he's harder to master than Black Panther? Are we putting him harder than Black Panther or easier? I get whiplash every time I remember you put Squirrel in V tier. I'm glad. Chat's gonna lose their fucking minds. Easier than BP per sir. I'm awful at melee. Space is such a vague concept. I would legitimately put him here, chat. Actually, I'm gonna put him here. I'm gonna just play with my gut. I think he's here. I think he's here. I don't think he's there, because I think he's easier than Black Panther. Oh no, Dingus Dawn. He's going through it. If you want to play Wolf in every situation, it's harder than Iron Fist and Bucky. Yeah, but we're not talking about flexibility. We're talking about skill ceiling. Like, just because Bucky fits in a lot of situations doesn't mean that you're playing him at his skill ceiling in those situations. That you're talking more about power level than you talk about skill ceiling there. I have 30 hours on Wolf, and I still think there's a lot to learn on him. That's true. You're probably 100% right. But you put 30 hours on another one of these other characters, I think you probably still need to know more, or you need to be better. I feel like Wolf has to be close to Iron Fist and Bucky, but lower. It's hard because of the aim skill argument. We keep running into this, like, B is kind of the wall of aim skill, like pure aim skill. It's like the wall that is kind of separating the top from the bottom. This tier list is interesting. Yep. All right. He's harder than Squirrel Girl. Not to master, not to play at his ceiling. I disagree. Consistent grabs and you'll get value. Aim skill is learned over time for any game. True, and it also translates from other games. I like where you have Wolf, honestly. He's got to close the distance and not as much aim to master. I think he's easier simply for the fact that he's bulkier. All tanks are S. Now let's move on to more Spidey gameplay. No. Angela is, where do we put fucking Angela, chat? I kind of feel like we put Angela in the same place we put Wolf, no? Angela's A? A? Y'all have Angela in A? I feel like you can't put Angela that much higher than you put Wolf. They do very similar things. Like, extremely similar things. Like, and they require very similar sets of game understanding and mechanics. You're so excited you hit your new peak GM and you started playing Rivals 3 months ago. Let's fucking go. You're a little biased because you're an Angela main. Next to Wolf, I would probably put her here, above BP. Because of the extra decision making on the character, I think she's above Wolf by a couple tiers. You could maybe put her here. It's like the same shit, but yeah. Do you VOD review? I do on my Patreon. I just feel like she's insane at higher levels. Knowledge of Captain Coach would disagree hard with this. I'm sure he would. Just hit a Wolf leap compared to Squirrel Girl is leaps and bounds more skill ceiling. What are you hitting a Wolf leap is literally just putting your body on their body and pressing your delete button. We're talking about skill ceiling, by the way. Like, any of your just like random spammage accidental shots on Squirrel Girl is like, you can do that on the character, but that's not necessarily what I'm talking about when I talk about the skill ceiling of the character. It sounds like a jet turbine when flying around. Okay. Cap. Where do y'all put Cap? I actually have Cap higher than Angela. Higher than Angela. Higher than Angela. But I don't know if I have Cap higher than the Aimers. This is a hard one. Do we put Cap higher than the Aimers? Cap is A? Bro, talking about Squirrel Girl min-max. Exactly. That's exactly what we're talking about this whole fucking list. I think above Squirrel Girl. What does the best of the best Squirrel Girl player does? I legitimately think that people just stay away from that character because of perception, not because the character has a low skill ceiling. Like, Squirrel Girl is not that far away from Junkrat. And Junkrat has a very high skill ceiling. Like, he's not that far away. It's just like, people just stay away. Like, people that have... Here's a weird thing. This is a weird thing to think about. People that could maximize the skill ceiling of Squirrel Girl are not the people that are drawn to the character. They're drawn to other characters. Like, someone that is really good mechanically on, like, a projectile. Like, there is, like, a Hawkeye main that could push the bounds of Squirrel Girl really far. But they're not, because they're playing Hawkeye. Does that make sense? Yeah. Squirrel Girl is easier than Junk. True, but Junkrat would be, like, fucking top of A tier on this list. Junkrat would be, like, top of A tier on this list. 100%. Legit, Junkrat would probably be top of A tier. Maybe even S tier. Bottom of S. Ragebait with YouTube thumbnails saying our Squirrel TD and Squirrel Girl the hardest to master. I've been sniped out of the sky as Squirrel Girl. Yo. Have you seen Aquamarine Squirrel Girl due to Thanos back in season 1? That guy was a Junkrat player. There's levels of this shit. Seagull is the perfect example of this when you still played Rivals. Yep, exactly. Coach, who is 5 elo above? As a coach who is 5 elo above you, I disagree. Wait, Junkrat had so many rollouts he could do. That's true. Like, I legit think that Junkrat would probably be S tier on this list, like low S tier. Who is Seagull? That's the goat of Overwatch, bro. Cap next to Blade. So we're putting Cap. I don't know if I could justifiably put Cap above Iron Fist. Can y'all justify that to me? Because I don't know if I can. I don't really see it. What do you mean? Come on. Justify it. Justify it. Cap at S. The goat at which Seagull posted more true. Perk and I ran into Magic Bullet waiting Squirrel the other day, and holy shit, what a weirdo. Okay. It's Cap, though. All right. Like, I do think Cap has a high skill ceiling, but, like, a lot of that has to do with the timing of the character. Like a lot of dive tank stuff. Like, if you put Cap up here, you can't put Venom that far away from here. Why is Iron Man so high? This is a This is a season 7 tier list. You are away from team and you have to animation cancel. I mean, chat, canceling the animations on fucking Cap is not even remotely close to the skill ceiling. Fucking average Caps can cancel animations on this hero. Like, we're talking about the skill ceiling here. We're not talking about random ass Caps. Like, you should long know how to do that shit far before you're even remotely close to the skill ceiling at this. Venom gets 2 lives. Power level does not matter. Does not change shit about whether or not a character has a high skill ceiling. Coach hard triggered. I am. Y'all keep saying the same shit over and over again. He's okay there. Between Hela and Ultron, please, coach, please. What? Legit, deadass, I would probably put this character like animation cap. I love the Iron Man combat every 15 minutes. I know. You're not animation canceling on Cap, Angela Strange. We're not talking ceiling. Yeah, we're not even close to talking ceiling. Like, we're not even remotely close. Like, yeah. I'm not saying that he's easy. I'm just saying that he just, like, a lot of what he requires is, like, game understanding. Not necessarily. Like, it's a really important game understanding and timing, but it's not really anything more than that. Now, okay, where do y'all put Strange here? Yeah, the portal shenanigans. We got to think about portals, portaling, ulting, ult movements, killing through ults. There's a lot to think about on this character. There's a lot to think about. You could get more results with Cap with an average person than you would with the Widow, especially at the top level. You better give us straight facts here. Cap is S or A for the portal tech alone. Wait. You mean Strange, right? I mean Strange. Yeah, I was like, Cap? Oh shit. I am among the agreements here. Strange ain't harder than Cap. I think skill ceiling, I disagree. I think that Cap is... Am I gonna rage bait y'all? I'm rage baiting y'all. I'm putting Cap there. I'm moving Iron Fist down here, by the way. This is my rage bait. But that's where I actually put him, right there. I've seen some wild bugger portals recently. Everyone has to know how to portal. Coach saying Cap instead of Strange. Now, yeah, I mean, I'm trolling. My bad, Strange. Look where you started. Cap has a higher skill ceiling floor than Strange, but Strange has a higher ceiling. I can agree with that. Yeah. Lower than C&D. Why are you lying, coach? I'm not lying. Y'all really don't like me on this Strange take. I'm telling you. It is probably my hottest take, but this character is hard. At the skill ceiling, not the floor. We all agree with the floor, okay? We all have seen Cloak and Daggers do dumb shit all game and die. It's not what I'm talking about. I was low-key hoping you'd put Iron Fist lower. Yeah, put him here. I think Strange is pretty high. I think he's here. Okay, Emma Frost. Though the C&D on Portal and Strange would be harder, they definitely could increase his skill ceiling if they wanted to. Need to hear? Oh, you need to hear my points for Strange. The reason he's an A tier is that you need to balance. First, you need to balance your neutral, like perfect reload optimization, cancel optimization, but then also ultimate, like clearing the way for your ultimate, positioning for your ultimate, dying appropriately so you can pour back, proper portal technique, whether that's porting people off, like off the map, or even porting your team back to spawn, killing consistently through support ultimates, like because you can ult invis and consistently kill it, resource management, preserving shield for when you need it, preserving flight when you need it, proper Maelstrom of Madness. Like the difference between consistently using good Maelstrom of Madnesses are consistent kills versus like barely keeping people alive, perfectly knowing your limits on the character. Like there's a lot to manage. Like to do all that perfectly is not easy. Emma B, high B, Angela and C is trolling. That actually might be trolling, chat. That actually might be trolling. Do y'all think that's trolling? Nah. Maybe it is. Don't think she's much harder than Wolf though. Emma between Cap and Punisher? I can see that. I think Angela like here is fine. I'm putting them her. Put Emma and C before Angela. Wait, do we move Phoenix down here? Gotta be honest, this is the worst tier list you've ever done. Maybe the worst tier list anyone has ever done. I mean, it's just facts. I don't know what to tell you. It's literally just facts, but... Okay, where's Groot, chat? Where's the Groot skill ceiling? I think this is actually pretty high in my mind. By my estimation, this is really high. I'm followed after I see Iris move to B. Come on, bro. Very high. Now the tier list is good except for the C and D take. Oh, God. If Emma's B, Groot is A, S. Groot is raid boss in the right hands. I'm actually gonna put Groot all the way the fuck up here. I'm putting Groot all the way the fuck up here. Top of A. Top of A. I think he's hard. Ceiling on Groot. You could even maybe justify him higher than Adam, but I won't. Bad Groots can ruin your game, but Groots can win you games. Yeah. You could make the justification that he's S. I'm not going to, but I could see it. I don't think that he's harder than Adam. We're all run into that one group, man. I mean, just think of fucking Vinny on this character. Vinny! Just think of that guy on this character. He's the GOAT. But I don't think that he's as good as, who's that Jeff Pro? There's a Jeff Pro. I mean, a lot of pros ended up picking up Jeff, but who was the first Jeff Pro? Wasn't there a Jeff Pro that was like the first? Vinny! I do think Groot's high skill ceiling, he doesn't have the highest inputs, but he also requires good team coordination. With wall placement and ults against Mag. I'm literally that Groot, which is why I avoid him though. Many Groots be walling off teammates. Yeah, well that, hopefully we're not talking about this thing. All right, Hulk. What do y'all think Hulk is, guys? Delana, Faye. It might be Faye for the Jeff, yeah. Vinny. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. I do it with a Hulk player all the time. I know how good this character is. No, I'm trolling. I'm trolling, guys. Come on. Come on. Literally, legitimately, yes. Now, here's the question, chat. I'm kind of on the fence. Is Spider-Man above Hulk or is Hulk above Spider-Man? Is Spider-Man above Hulk or is... Rage Rate used to be believable. Is Spider-Man above Hulk or is Hulk above Spider-Man? Is Hulk the hardest character in the game to master? Or is Spider-Man? That's kind of the question here. I guess he goes S. Wait, you don't like the S placement, coach? Why don't you like the S placement? That's just facts, bro. Is this the tier list for a plat? Yep. Spidey harder. Hulk strong. Parker is punny. No different. Definitely Spider-Man, not Spider-Man. This question is rage bait. Spidey above. It's Hulk tank fundamentals are harder. I'm gonna just put them as a wash up at top. I would say Spidey only because Hulk has a history of being a team up bot. I think that the one thing that puts Hulk a little bit lower is that mechanically he's a bit slower. Like Spider-Man is mechanically faster, which means like there's less time to make some very hard mechanical decisions, I'll say. But Hulk has a lot more responsibilities than Spider-Man, right? Like there is a lot more. On Spider-Man, you're not necessarily doing a lot of the things that Hulk needs to do. Bro moved fist down. I doubt he knows about the golden rotation. Hulk has a ton to manage. He has crazy value with these. Spider-Man has more skill expression. You can tell when Spider-Man is playing for the gameplay because there are many ways to play. Hulks have brawl, dive, and peel. Peter Parker's the king of responsibilities. Okay, bro. All right, Magneto. Where are we putting Magneto on this list, chat? All right, this I actually do think this Angela placement's rage bait. Let's put Angela a little higher. We'll put Angela like here. This Angela placement is a little rage bait. I think Magneto does have a very high skill ceiling. I just don't know where that high skill ceiling lies. I'm gonna put, I think he's consistently, I would say that Magneto is considerably higher skill than Strange is. Is Magneto higher skill than Groot? Y'all tell me. Thank you, the Angela disrespect was crazy. Yeah, it's kind of rage baiting there. What do y'all think? No? No, I got an ad rip. I think below Groot. I'm gonna put him like here. Boom. I'm gonna put him right there. Mag is just a macro. Mag's high A, Groot is higher, Mag is higher. Y'all are all trolling. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I think this is fair. I think this is reasonable. And my reasoning for this, Magneto requires reasonable aim. He requires a lot of cooldown management. From double bubble to self bubble, he requires being able to hit your ultimate, understanding what it's for, the push and pull of the game. There's a lot of tank fundamentals in Magneto, but there's a combination of mechanical and cooldown based fundamentals. None of those things are necessarily the hardest things to do in the game. Like hitting your mechanics isn't the hardest thing to do in the game. Managing your cooldowns isn't the hardest thing to do in the game, but having to do both together and doing them a lot can be difficult. It all adds up, I think, on this character. It just adds up. Everything just kind of adds up. Track ults, yeah. Can we at least agree Mag is an easy tank to start though? Yeah, I mean, yeah, he has a very, very low skill floor, yeah. I think we're barely see people hit near Groot's ceiling. Yeah, that's true. Just a 9 to 5. But I would say the same thing about Mag though. Like the best Mag in ladder is not really hitting the ceiling of Mag. I think Mag has a lot of ways to go. Like there's even higher to go. There's further to go. Just a 9 to 5. Why are you posting this tier list on YouTube, Unk? When? I'm gonna get my editor to start cooking on it. I might as well. Now we'll see how that goes. All right, Penny, chat. This is gonna rage bait all of you. I already know. Where's Penny, chat? Where the fuck is Penny? Where's Penny Parker? Where's Penny Parker on this fucking list? And why is it gonna rage bait every single one of you? Where's it at? Y'all let me know. It's actually literally gonna rage bait the shit out of everybody. Okay, maybe it's not gonna rage bait people. I'm gonna blow up if she's higher than Fist. Ah, she's right here. Let's go. He's going S, bro. Of course I'm going S. Now, fuck this character. Nerf this character, rework this character, but this character is definitely S. This character is definitely S. Nest Penny is very low. Yeah, but like Nest Penny is not the skill ceiling of this character. Nest Penny is like the super skill floor of this character. Seriously. Yep. I hate to break it to you guys, but Penny has a very, very, very fucking high skill ceiling. Very high. Very high. Penny needs a rework. She's the most matchup check character in the game. That's true. I accept everything from this tier list except Iron Man. What is y'all's beef with Iron Man, bro? Y'all hate on Iron Man. Nest Penny is the bot version of Penny. Yes, yes. It does get a lot of value, but there's way more ways to get value. And y'all can see that because, like, every Penny that exists knows how to play Nest Penny, but there are some Pennies that are just in top 500, just fucking, like, rolling people. Because they know how to flank, they know lineups, they know where they could put, like, you can constantly innovate on this character. You can constantly innovate. She has a skill shot, which is her stun. There's ways to just set like traps, and there's ways to play this character aggressively, and there's ways to play with how a player is going to react to you. Like, there's so much you can do on this character at the ceiling of this character. But like, the character gets a crazy amount of value at her floor, and like even at the midpoint of skill value, or yeah, like the midpoint of skill. But the ceiling is crazy. Fringe Alarm and Ishii, yeah. I think Groot goes right behind Penny. I think Penny has a higher skill ceiling than Groot. No cap. No cap. I see people picking Divers and Brawl. It's Spider-Man time. Make a thumbnail. Iron Man, Cloak A, then Rage Bait S. The Rage Bait. I'm legitimately gonna do something like that. Iron Man is the Squirrel Girl of the sky. Okay, well, I put Squirrel Girl higher than you probably want me to. Cloak A, Dagger B. I mean, I can block ults with Groot. True, but Penny can cancel them. Ooh. I'm literally gonna... I think she can have like 10 at the same time or something. Okay. What do y'all think Rogue goes? What do y'all think Rogue goes? I think that Rogue is probably here. What do y'all think? Come on. I can't even rage bait y'all anymore. This is fucked up. I can't even rage bait y'all anymore. This is actually fucked. Okay, you got to think about the ceiling on this character is understanding that you get different buffs depending on who you grab, like what role. Knowing that you can grab certain things, like knowing that you can grab certain abilities and use them, right? Grab a Luna, freeze somebody, grab a Luna, freeze somebody, like cancel an ultimate with it. Like, there is such a high ceiling on the character's ability to take things, not to mention like the combo aspect of the character, which is very like fighting games adjacent, not as hard as of course Spider-Man, but like that combined with the roles of a tank, combined with ability cooldowns, I think this character is one of the hardest characters to master in the game. As far as where I would put her, probably here. Probably here. Probably an S. Probably an S. You wouldn't be that near Loki, but lower. This is where I probably put her. Because you have to think of, when you think of the ceiling on this character, it's a rogue that knows exactly what she needs in what moment. A rogue that can anticipate what's going to happen in the fight. Knowing what boosts that you need, what's the win, the fight win condition, where you can apply pressure, what abilities you can take. Like, you need to know a pretty good understanding of all these abilities and how to use them. And I just think that she's pretty difficult to play at her peak. My two mains in S, I feel validated. Sheesh. All right, Thor. S. AF. Can we classify character knowledge as a skill though? Yeah, because I mean, you need to know those things to execute them. Yeah, game sense is a skill, 100%. Yeah, careful not to piss the Thor mains off. I mean, Thor is one of my most played characters. That was the thing. Like, I can place a lot of these characters on this list because I know how brain dead they are. Like, I play them. I typically thrive on a lot of the brain dead characters, chat, because I don't have to do anything besides play the game at its core. Like, when you play the thing, you're just playing rivals. You're not really playing, like, you're not doing anything else. You're just kind of just playing rivals. Mills is a Thor main, so F. He's like high B. I wonder why. What's up, Shaden? By the way, Shaden, this is a video for YouTube. I'm just letting you know. I'm letting you know that right now. Welcome in. I've probably been yapping for 2 hours. and at the beginning of this, bots came in and spammed Captain Coach was on Epstein's Island. They spammed that 100 times. And then they spammed, I'm whacking my shit to this, Mills. Hi, future me, you'll hate your life. Yep. But you can keep all that in. That sounds fun. Thor is a thing with half a brain. So here's the thing, chat. From my perspective, Thor and Iron Fist are the same fucking hero in different ways. They have very similar levels of skill expression, and they do very similar things. I would legitimately put them right next to each other. Thor SSS, you like dick. GG. Oh, he's going to F. Wait, what? GG. Okay, fine. We'll move Squirrel Girl down to C, okay? I'm doing this, chat. I'm doing this. But I'm still saying Squirrel Girl is higher skill ceiling than fucking BP. I said it. I said it, bro. I said it. I don't care. No more rage debate. Thank God. Oh, shit. Shaydon, what do you think about my list, by the way? Shaydon? Put Squirrel Girl back in B. No, keep Squirrel up there. I think she's harder. I mean, I think she's harder, but like, I'm just moving things down because we had too many inflated. This is a skill ceiling tier list, by the way. Oh, where are we putting Venom? I heard enough drop BP lower. I watched one of your videos and you sound the exact same on stream. I thought you would sound different. No, it's just me. You know what I do when I make a video, right? Is I literally press record and yap. That's it. I typically have like a little script, but like it's like not in that much detail. It literally looks like, what was my tier list? Like, what was this one? Like, what's this? Boom, like this. Boom, just yap. It's literally just me talking. This was my list. Just me talking. So I'm literally gonna sound exactly the same. Tier list skill ceiling. As someone who mains a lot of S tier characters, I agree. Also very true that true. Squirrel mains are the same people playing Samus in Smash and spamming B. Okay. Venom low A. Yeah, like if we think of the guy who's the closest to the peak on this character is like fucking Snake Case. Okay, is Venom harder or easier to master than Groot? What do y'all think? What's the verdict on that? Is Venom harder or easier than Groot? I'm kind of on the fence. Harder? Easier? Easier? Easier. 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 A lot of easiers. Groot harder. What about Mag? Like, where's the threshold here? I think he's harder than Strange. I think he's maybe... You think Mag is too high already? Nah. I think here, let's move Bucky down here. Then we're putting Squirrel Girl back in B. Boom. Perfect. Perfect list. Oh, wait. I forgot. We have all the pools. Are all the pools the same? I think that tank pool is actually pretty hard. This one's... Wait, which one's tank? Am I dumb? I think this is tank, right? No, this is tank. Venom over Iron Man? No. Hell nah. I left for 2 hours. What up, Keith? Frost Fist. That's tank. Okay. These are all kind of the same, right? You talk a lot. Goddamn war. See, for all the pools, I can't agree with that. They're all hard. I think that this pool is probably like here. Tank pool, DPS pool. I don't know where the fuck to put DPS pool. Support pool. I don't know where the fuck to put support pool. Probably put support pool like above Mantis. DPS pool got to hit that jackpot. DPS pool is S. Okay, I don't think DPS pool. I think DPS pool is probably like here. No, that's a lie. Wait, maybe. I think I'm gonna put both these pools right here. Let's do that. How about this? How does this look? How does that look? I think support pool is a little easier. Deadpool has the wackiest movement of all time. His kit lacks synergy. I cannot touch them, so I cannot judge. DPS tank pool A. Support pool should be B. Yeah, okay, that's where we got it. Support pool, you gotta jump on people's heads. Yeah, because we're talking about the problem with support pool and DPS pool and tank pool is we're trying to make a skill ceiling tier list, but we have no point of reference because we have not seen this character in pro play, right? Like, not in real pro play. Like, we don't really know where the upper limits of this character is. And even like the matches that have happened with support pool and tank pool and DPS pool, I think that people are still developing this character. So we don't really know how far this character is going to go. Because like, even the people that are the most committed to this fucking character probably only have like 100 hours in this character right now. Who knows when they will stop? You know, will they keep getting better the next 100 hours? We don't know. Will they keep getting better 400 hours from now? We don't really know. It's just a little bit new, right? So it's a little hard to say. Put support pool above Iron Fist. I don't know if I can do that. Not yet. Hot take, but I think support pool should be higher DPS than tank pool. I don't think I agree, but I don't know. It's hard to say. DPS pool is mid. Let's keep it real, but he's going to get a buff before he reaches meta. I mean, he's weak in power level, but that doesn't matter about his skill ceiling, right? Make it unsure to new tier. I could do that. I could do that. I don't think I can add it, actually. This is my best guess. We're just going to say that. All right, chat. This is skill ceiling tier list. Hardest or highest skill ceiling in the game to lowest skill ceiling in the game. Are there any objections before we lock this shit down? YouTube chat, I know you're gonna start saying some crazy shit. Let me know your opinion down below, but also know that I am objectively correct. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Why is DPS pool so much higher than heal pool? I think the forced proactivity means that the ceiling is higher, in my opinion. Because I think the ceiling of support pool is more reactive in nature, more passive in nature, versus the ceiling of tank and DPS is gonna be more proactive. That's why. But like I said, these ones are the ones I'm least sure about. These three. Iron Man haters rise. Y'all hate on Iron Man. Rocket should be F-. Phoenix is too low. We could make the argument that Phoenix is too low. I could put Phoenix. Let's put Phoenix back in the bottom of B, actually. Emma could be A tier. We have Emma here. The problem is we have aimers here. Like, is she more difficult? The shot she has to hit is easier than Hela, but she has more cooldown management than Hela. That's kind of a little close one. I could see the justification, but I don't really see the justification of putting Emma above like Angela or Thor. Phoenix placement seems personal. Yeah, fuck this character. I'm putting her in D tier. You're damn right it's personal. No, I'm just kidding. You can't really, like, Phoenix and Namor are very similar as far as skill ceiling is concerned, in my estimation. They're both characters that have very similar get outs. They have very similar mechanical requirements. I mean, they're similar in a lot of ways. You could say that about a lot of strategists, but I feel more so for heal pool. Emma in B is fine. B is fair. What about the S? Y'all have any complaints with the S or A tier? I mean, I know y'all are gonna lose your mind about Cloak and Dagger or Jeff, or Penny, but those are locked up. Those are locked up. Those ain't moving. What's the context of the tier list? Who would you let your daughter date? From like most, like 100% yes to like hell no. I object to the Luna. Okay, what's your objection? Cloak and Dagger gots to go lower than Invis. Hell no. Hell no. I think that I'd like Invis to be above C and D. Dating Hulk would be... That cannot be for real. That's for real, for real. No, I'm just kidding. It's a skill ceiling tier list. Dating Ultron. We still here. We're almost back to unranked to GM Spider-Man. We're super close. We're super close. Oh, it's not your stream when you put Invis. What is your reasoning? I think even Invis has a reasonably high skill ceiling. You have to manage your cooldowns, understand when to pull and push. There's a lot of skill expression there. Proper cooldown management, like to min-max. Like, it's one thing to get a lot of value out of her kit, which is like a lot of people can do, but to perfectly min-max it is different. Like, perfectly min-max your shield, min-max your push and pull, cancel ultimates, cancel cooldowns, deny exits. Like, there's a lot of ways to, like, also you can chain your heal, damage and heal. Like, this, the positioning, like how aggressive. Like, one thing that people think about is Invis allows you to not be contested very easily, right? She's very anti-dive. She's very hard to push, right? But part of the skill ceiling on a character like that is how can you utilize a kit like that to be as proactive as possible, if like, or position as proactively as possible, because you have the means to survive. It's like survival for survival's sake is kind of wasted value, but survival that enables you to do more, and you're doing as much of that you possibly can and still surviving, is like, that's tangible value that, like, I think the really good Invises can actually access. This list is almost as bad as the island list. I just think the things you could do with Invis can be pretty impactful, as well as pushing away ults. Yeah, I agree with all that. No, I agree with everything you're saying. I just think that the things that Cloak and Dagger can do is also extremely powerful. Just got here, but can you explain why Cap is there? Cap was the one that we had a hard time placing, I'm not gonna lie. I think he gets a lot, like, perfect timing on Cap, maximizing, like, your engagements is extremely important. Like, knowing your limits, knowing how to bait out cooldowns. It's very possible to do nothing on Cap, even in the high, like, even towards the skill ceiling, if you don't properly, like, target priority and bait out cooldowns and things like that. What is this? What is this list? This is a height tier list. Tallest to shortest. C and D, S tier, and Invis. Hela and Phoenix in B tier, along with Widow. Yep. Justice for BP? Hell no. In fact, fuck this guy. I'm hating on BP, bro. I'm hating on BP. He's literally just like a fucking, he's like an armless, legless Genji, bro. Thing shortest ain't no way. Luna A tier? Based on what? That's literally only aim. It's like, all she has is aim skill. I could hear out the justifications for B, but I could not hear out the justifications for A. Love you, Mills. Height, tier list, and Jeff is I'm a Hela player, so I'm all for saying Cap takes 0 skill. But honestly, him and Psy have the highest skill ceiling. See, that's the thing, is like everyone completely disagrees on. I've had people in here that say that Cap needs to be super low, like D, and then other people that say that Cap needs to be extremely high, like S. I don't think I could put Cap reasonably above Mag, and reasonably above Venom, and reasonably above Thor, and reasonably above Groot. I don't think I could. I have 500 hours on Cap. Sheesh. Deadpool is a 0-star hero, so F. Okay. I agree with you. Invis points, it does justify her, in which I agree, but why is C and D higher? There's more cooldown management. Like everything that we talked about to argue that Invis deserves bottom of A, played at her skill ceiling, applies to Cloak and Dagger even more, because there is more cooldowns to manage consistently, right? It's not just push, pull, and shield. It's fade, it's double blind, or double heal, heal bubble. Like there's a lot there. It's like there's just more cooldowns to properly manage. Yeah, and you also have to balance going to damage and heals the most amount, like understanding like how can you get the most out of the fact that you can do damage in certain spots. When can you get away with damaging, and when is it actually good or bad to damage? There are times when it's like more like all you want to do is play to your ultimate because you're going to build ultimate fast. Making that call is hard. Like you can also be proactive with your ultimate, where Invis is purely a reactive ultimate most of the time. It's much harder to use proactively. I feel like Cap and Psy have so many options, you can always make better decisions. The ceiling is so high. I mean, that's true for any character with hypermobility, but Cap doesn't require any level of mechanical skill. So like he requires very, very good decision making, but your mechanics on the character are very low, like comparatively to like everything else above Cap requires typically like either mechanics or like mechanics and timing, or a combination of like a lot of ability management. Like with Cap, you're not really managing any cooldowns. Not really. Not in the same way that you would with like a Cloak. We should with that reasoning on Invis, Luna should be above her. No, because Luna has what? Clap and freeze? That's it. Angela above Cap. See, we got people saying Angela above Cap, and then some people saying that Cap deserves to be above Groot. That's not true for Spidey though. He has way more limitations than Psy, for example. How does anyone have a problem with Iron Man? People are treating him like they do in the game, not looking up. There's no way people are okay with his placement. How doesn't anyone have a problem? And a whole bunch of people said they have a problem with Iron Man. I'm holding true to Iron Man. I'm telling you, once again, the character is extremely fragile. He needs proper positioning, and positioning is not easy on this character. Case in point, it's extremely easy to die on this character. He requires multiple types of aim, hit scan, tracking, and long distance projectile aim. His ultimate is a skill-intensive ultimate that requires you to properly anticipate, understand the things that can stop him, and still get value out of it anyways. He has a high skill ceiling. Doesn't really matter that he has a low skill floor. Doesn't really matter that a lot of Iron Men suck. Doesn't matter. You should have to watch how Kaiji's been playing Luna lately. Yeah, I mean, one of the things about Luna is even at her skill ceiling, having cracked aim is mostly wasted on that character. Because the shots don't matter as much as like hitting a shot on other characters, even at your skill ceiling. Like give aimbot to a Luna versus aimbot to a fucking Widow, and it's completely different, right? Like technically Luna has an infinite skill ceiling, as does all aim characters, but it's not practical ceilings. Like we just talked about it with Rocket. Technically Rocket has a gun and aim has an infinite skill ceiling. So technically Rocket has an infinite skill ceiling, but it's not a practical skill ceiling. It's not a reasonable skill ceiling. In the same way that Luna's infinite aim skill ceiling is not reasonable. It's more reasonable than Rocket, but it's not as reasonable as like a Punny infinite aim ceiling or a Widow's infinite aim ceiling. This list is about to be 2 months early to April Fools. Bro is holding his ground with the Iron Man press from chat. Gotta respect it. We're getting all kinds of pressed. I just joined stream, saw Spider-Man in S tier, and nearly succumbed to despair before realizing it was an execution tier list. Okay. All right. Chat, if you agree, or not chat, YouTube chat, YouTube, if you agree or disagree with this list, please smash the like, subscribe. If you want to hang out with us while we make more of these lists, definitely check out our Twitch and the links down below. Thank you so much for coming by. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.